Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So as you can see from the title and from these cute little envelopes that we have here, today we are going to be reading a letter from your soulmate. And then as well, in this reading today, we're going to be taking a look at your energies. So your energy and the energy of your soulmate, as well as the energy of your union. So when you reach your full potential together, when you're together in union, what is that like? And then we're also going to be getting any messages or advice that you may need on your soulmate journey. These messages could come from your spirit guides, they could come from your higher self, or they could come from the higher self of your soulmate. So that's what we're going to be looking at in today's reading on YouTube. And we are also going to have an extended reading today. So in that part of the reading, we're going to see, does your soulmate know about this spiritual connection with you, and can they feel the connection? And if so, what do they know? What do they feel? And then we're also going to see what developments are coming up next, and we're going to look at future developments and changes both in the spiritual connection, so in the 5D connection, as well as in the 3D connection. And we're also going to see when those could be happening. So we'll get some time windows as well. Yes, so that is everything I need to explain. Let's get into selecting our options. So we have 4 readings, 4 letters for you guys to choose from. Each letter is being held by one of my pals, one little cute animal, and each envelope is also a different color. So you might choose by which animal you are drawn to, which color you are drawn to, or both, or maybe one of these animals has a significant meaning for you. But I'm going to show you each of these close up, one by one, and then please pick whichever one you feel drawn to the most. So for option number 1, we have this dog, and they're holding a grayish envelope. For option number 2, we have this baby bird, and they're holding a blue envelope. For option number 3, we have this bear, and they're holding a white envelope. And for option number 4, we have this cat, and they are holding a peachy pinky envelope. Okay, so as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to, and I am going to go ahead and get started with our friend, the dog. Hi number ones, so if you guys chose our little dog, this is going to be a reading. So as I mentioned in the intro, we are going to start off by opening up this letter and reading what is inside. These are going to be channeled messages from your soulmate, so they are written in the first person, but they could be from your soulmate's higher self, or they could be from their 3D self. And then we are going to move into reading the energy of this connection. So we're going to see your current energy, their current energy, as well as the energy of your union. So what is it like when you come together in your full potential? And then we are going to get any messages, any advice that you might need on this journey to union. So that's what will be covered in this reading on YouTube. And then there is going to be an extended reading today. In that part of the reading, we're going to see, does your soulmate feel this spiritual connection that exists between the two of you? Do they know about this connection? If so, what do they feel? What do they know? And we're also going to see what is happening. What are the next developments? What is coming in the future of this connection, and when? So yes, that is the breakdown of everything. And without further ado, let's read this letter. One thing about this letter, I will say it reads more like I don't know if you would call it a stream of consciousness, but it's more like that rather than a letter. There were no greetings in it, no like, dear group 1, nothing, just like, let me tell you something. So yeah, let's open it and see what it says. I've had this dream about you so many times. I wake up from a nightmare, confused and for a moment still scared. Then I feel your presence. I see you sleeping next to me and I immediately soften. Slowly you open your eyes. Your eyes are breathtaking. They shine like the most precious jewels, and they envelop me in a warmth I've never felt before, as if the entire universe were wrapping its arms around me. You don't speak, but I know you are saying you love me. I say it back. Then I wake up for real. You're not here, but the warmth lingers. Wherever you are, I hope you're well. I hope nothing troubles you. I hope you are happy. I hope you'll come visit me again. So, I don't know if I'm just nervous reading this or if I'm channeling a little bit of nervousness from your soulmate, but I did feel like a lump in my throat and like I'm struggling with my words, almost like the feeling of a nervous student presenting in front of the class kind of feeling. It is a very poetic letter, and I don't know, maybe it's my nerves coming through because it's like very raw emotion. But what they were trying to explain, which I was kind of confused about, is that they have a recurring dream of you, but like the dream is that they are waking up from a dream, if that makes sense. They're waking up from a nightmare and they're like, what's going on? And then they're like, my soulmate is here, group one is here. And then they immediately relax and they immediately feel happy. I think in their dreams, being with you is the reality. So when they wake up from the dream, they're like, thank God I'm back here with my soulmate. I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm happy. But the reality is the opposite. You are in the dream and they wake up and you're not there. It was a little bit hard to wrap my head around at first, but they feel like they've woken up and you're there, and then they wake up for real. But they still feel your warmth, even if you're not physically there. So yeah, this letter was a little bit different. I've done this style of video a few times, but this one was quite different. It felt intense. It felt more like poetic, more like I'm not writing the formalities of a letter. I just want you to know this. That was the kind of vibe that I was getting. Yeah, wow. Okay, so we're gonna leave this letter here and let's get into the cards now. So there's many different decks that I want to use today, including this one, which literally just came in the mail like 10 minutes ago. I was hoping it would get here today so that I could use it. But here we are going to see your energy, your soulmate's energy, and the energy of your union. So your energy is being represented by the world. And a card for your soulmate's energy. The sun. Interesting. And then there. Okay, we're getting a little bit of glare. And then to represent your union, we have the Emperor. Okay, so there's quite a bit of fire energy going on here. We have Leo energy with the sun. We have Aries energy with the Emperor. The world is all of the fixed signs. So Leo again, and then also Taurus, Scorpio, and Aquarius. But what I think is very interesting is that we have the world and the sun, which, as you know, the world orbits around the sun. So I feel like if you haven't met this person yet, you're definitely like in their general vicinity, in their circle, in their radar. I feel like you are likely in a physical location that is near to them, or you're about to be, or like you're entering into the same social circles as them. I feel like the universe has you in this kind of preparation stage for the union. And it's also really cool that you guys are coming out as the world, because this means that you guys have just completed a cycle in your spiritual journey. This is about things coming to completion, chapters coming to a close. You're ready for something new. So you've closed off like a significant chapter, or you've closed off tough lessons. You've just released something very big. I feel like this is going to be one of the groups where the union is more so imminent, I think, than something that is super far away. Because it's like you've completed your cycle, you've completed what you needed to, and you're already in this person's orbit. This could be somebody, yeah, with the lion as well. This could be somebody that you admire a lot, somebody that you look up to a lot, someone you're already aware of. You already know them, they're already visible to you. But in any case, I think this person's energy really just lights up your life. You might actually describe this person's energy as a ray of sunshine. I think that this person's influence on you would be that they make you playful, they make you like a child again, they make you carefree again. They really just melt your worries away, and they remind you that life is for enjoying, life is for pleasure, life is for having fun. That's that Leo energy. It's joy, playfulness, affection, pleasure. I think we all sometimes become these like very serious, nervous, highly strung adults, and we start to take things very, very seriously. And I think this person reminds you, like they even said in their letter, to soften. They remind you to let your cares melt away. They help you to release inhibitions. Just like a kid who is being crazy and silly and loud and not caring what anybody around them thinks. They bring that spark of joy back to your life. They bring that playfulness back to your life. This could also be somebody who really, really inspires you to express yourself, or who really inspires you to explore your creative side. I think there's something this person does, like you find them very brilliant, you look up to them, you find them very talented, and actually vice versa, because the world very much has that energy as well. The world is kind of aspirational, so I feel like you have a lot of qualities as well that your soulmate wants to have too. They're like, I want to be like you. I aspire to be somebody like you. I think they see you as very put together, as very accomplished. They also see you as very open-minded and considerate, and kind of like, I think they would refer to you as like the least judgmental person in the world. Like, you're so kind, understanding, accepting. If there's something that you don't understand, you take the time to get to know it. Like, you're not quick to judge or just jump to conclusions. And I think that they really admire that in you, because it shows, first of all, it shows love. It shows unconditional love, but it also shows this wisdom and maturity that you have. So I already see a very deep level of respect and admiration for each other. And I think that this admiration that you have for each other is going to inspire you both to do amazing things, because we have the Emperor in the middle here. So this represents the energy of your union. And both of you have this leader energy within you, or you have this boss energy, or this badass energy within you, where when you come together, you're really inspired to take charge of your life and live it exactly how you want to. There was that feeling of maybe sometimes we start to worry about the wrong things, and we start to take the wrong things too seriously. You guys maybe have both struggled with like really caring about other people's opinions, or living your life to suit someone else's expectations or someone else's preferences. But when you come together, you're like, screw it, we're gonna have fun and we're gonna do exactly what we want to do. And I think when you come together, you really start to explore your creative side, like I said, but you also feel very empowered when you're together. To really be the boss of your life and be the creator of your life and live it exactly how you want to. It's almost like you pull each other out of this autopilot mode that you've been in. You've been asleep. You've been maybe even apathetic in some ways, or life has just felt dull. And it's almost like you get hit with the train when you meet each other, and you're like, holy shit, like I'm alive and this life is mine and I can make it whatever I want. It's like you make each other feel alive again. You restore hope, you restore a zest for life. And it's like life is not about proving yourself anymore. It's about experimenting and having fun and creating and making mistakes and making beautiful memories together. Also, I feel like you guys will have a lot of admirers as a couple. A lot of people will see you and want a relationship like yours. And some people might actually be intimidated by you guys just because you're so in your personal power and you're so sure of yourself, and you really come across as like you have it all together. And it's like people are simultaneously in awe and aspire to be like you, but they're also kind of like scared and intimidated of you, if that makes sense, which is funny because I feel like you guys are like the sweetest souls you could ever meet. You're so friendly, you're so kind, but people, I don't know, maybe people feel like insecure or maybe like envious of the connection that you have. It's kind of something that is coming through. But another thing I want to say, with number 4 in the middle, with this card representing your union, and I just saw 1313 when I looked up, which reduces like to 4/4. I think destiny and like the divine plan is going to play a big role in getting you together with this person. And this number might also be coming through as a reassurance that you are very much on the path to them, even if it doesn't feel that way sometimes. What else do we have? These could be dates like April 19th, or which would be in Aries, yes, or April 21st, which would be a Taurus, which we do have in the world. Yeah, 1921, there could be like a 2-year age gap or maybe a 4-year age gap. But let's look at some different cards. Let's pull up the next deck is what I was trying to say there. So we are going to use the Intuit Tarot now. And I'm actually going to read reversals today. You guys might know that I don't normally do that. But the reason I'm doing it today is because, first of all, this deck shuffles beautifully. Oh my God. This deck is super cool in that it has like different keywords for the upright and reverse positions. And I want you guys to see that because it's really cool. So that's what we're gonna do today. And in this part of the reading, we are gonna leave it kind of open, but these will be anything that you need to know about this connection and about this journey, as well as advice. What does group number 1 need to know? Oh, sorry, one other thing I want to mention. I do think that in the next development of this connection, they will be moving towards you, because the Emperor, which is the card that represents your union, we see the lion is moving from here to over here. So I think that the next step is them moving towards you. The universe has brought you into their circle, or will be bringing you into their circle, into their social circles, or into the part of the world that they're in. But then it will be their turn to initiate towards you. We have the Ace of Wands, so look, more fire energy, lots of fire energy. The season of spring might be significant for you guys as well. But yeah, we have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius here, and this is coming out in the upright position. Also want to mention that we do have a ring here. Oh my God, and yeah, also engagement. Ace of Wands, a passionate start. Engagement, aphrodisiac. There's a very good song called Aphrodisiac, by the way, and I forget who it's by, but anyway, fertility, attraction, chemistry, new passion for love and life, which is exactly what we were talking about, igniting desire, and go for it. So we do have engagement here, which again is making me think that pretty soon this connection is going to be amping up to the next level, to another level of commitment, whether that is literally getting engaged or getting into a relationship or meeting each other in the physical. This new beginning is coming, and you know, of all of the suits, Wands is a faster moving one. Not lightning fast, but she's pretty fast. So I really do not think that you will be waiting that long for this new beginning. Also with aphrodisiac, fertility, attraction, chemistry, there is a lot of sexual energy here, or a lot of passionate energy here. So your soulmate might want you to know that your physical connection is going to be absolutely mind-blowing, and this could also be kind of the nature of dreams that they have about you, although I feel like they're probably too shy to tell you that at this time. Also, something that I'm picking up is that there will, if you haven't met this person yet, there will be an immediate, very, very intense physical or sexual attraction, but one or both of you kind of feels bad about it or feels uncomfortable about it, because you're like, I literally just met this person. You know, I want to take the time to get to know them. I want to be respectful, but like, holy shit. Like, they're so hot. I don't know how to act is kind of a feeling that is coming through. I love that we have new passion for love and life as well, because that was something that I was very much picking up here. This union, or you know, coming into each other's energy really brings back a hope and this feeling of like, I'm alive, I'm in charge of my life, igniting desire, go for it. Once you are activated by each other's energy, and I say that rather than meeting, because of course you can be influenced by the spiritual connection even before meeting, you might suddenly become very, very inspired to create things, or to start projects, or to make really significant changes in your life. Almost like it's the same feeling of like, what would I do if I knew that this was my last day on earth? You're like, I gotta do the things that I really want to do. Not that they're putting you in an urgent energy at all, but it's that feeling of seizing life. It's that feeling of grabbing life by the horns and doing all of the things that you truly wanted to do. This is what this connection inspires you to do. And if you feel yourself already in this energy, I got news for you. This union is coming up. Because when you guys are in each other's energetic field, you become like creative machines. And that's also something I should mention for those of you who are not sexual people, that sexual energy can also be interpreted as creative energy, like the desire to express yourself, the desire to make things, the desire to be artistic. It can totally be that as well. And also, with that being said, initiating a new change in your life or initiating a new project in your life could be a step to this union as well. Like, go for it, do the thing, pursue the thing that you want to pursue. Ooh, oh my gosh, then we have the 10 of coins also in the upright. And we have Mercury and Virgo energy here. And it says a family legacy. Oh, so we have fertility and now we have a family legacy. So this could be someone that you do have children with or have a family with. We also have many dogs on this card, so these do not have to be human children. Wealth, patriarch, domestic duty, lineage, buying a house, image, privilege, security, estate. This is also a card that makes me think of someone who is quite like practical and quite traditional. So this might be somebody who does approach dating and relationships, and like their idea of a happily ever after is more like traditional, so to speak. So I think this person really values, like, for example, being in a monogamous relationship and taking it slow when they're dating and getting to know someone and building trust. The 10 of Pentacles also really gives me this feeling of something building up slowly over time. So with that being said, with these two cards next to each other, even though there is an immediate burning desire between the two of you, it might be a while until this is acted on, in which case don't take it personally. But if this is your energy as well, then you guys will totally be on the same page. Like, you may also be someone who, like, you want to take your time, you want to build that trust, you want to establish the emotional connection. But if you're like really antsy to get into it and they're taking their time, please don't take that personally. That's just like their style when it comes to dating and relationships. And interestingly, with the Emperor too, sometimes I see it as somebody who is hard to read, or you're getting the feeling that maybe they're not interested in you even though they very much are, or you're getting the feeling that they're kind of closed off or cold even though they're like the sweetest little muffin ever. But yeah, they tend to, maybe it takes a while for their like guard to come down. They're kind of shy, they're kind of nervous is the feeling I was getting from the letter too. But slowly but surely they will build something very strong and sturdy with you. And I will say that once you do have that physical relationship, I mean, once that's all unleashed, I mean, it's gonna be a lot of passion that had been building up. So I think it's definitely going to be worth the wait. And I think also with the 10 of coins, this could be someone who does want to be a provider. We do have the word patriarch here, which generally would refer to like a male or a male role, so to speak. Obviously, this person could be of any gender, but they may instinctively want to take on the roles that are more traditionally associated with men, and I say that with very large finger quotes, but basically like the provider of the household or the protector of the household or something to that effect. You know, this could be a super feminine woman and they could still take on that role. So please take this patriarch word with a grain of salt. But provider, protector, also someone who is extremely loyal, because we have, oh my God, and you guys even chose the dog. I was gonna say we have not one, not two, but 3 dogs, but we actually have 4. Yeah, and dogs, they make me think of like a really loyal companion and someone who's always gonna be very excited for you. Whatever lights you up lights them up. Whatever you're passionate about, they're passionate about, because they are very passionate about your happiness. And I feel like almost at sometimes it would seem like they're more excited about your successes and more excited about your adventures than you are. And you're like, wow, they're like, I'm just so happy that you're happy. This person really, like they even said in their letter, like, I really hope that nothing's troubling you. And I just hope that you're happy and I just hope that you're well. And that's like, that's why they want to provide for you. And it's like the greatest gift that they could have. Also, another thing about this person, they will always tell the truth. Yes, they will always tell the truth and you can always count on them to be there. I also think that this person is very, they're very punctual, which is an interesting little detail. So let's get one more. Okay, we have, the sun. The sun in the upright. So we have 3 cards in the upright. Here we have Leo and we have the sun. This person could actually, because we have so much freaking Leo energy. We have Leo here, we have a lion here. Leo is one of the signs associated with the world. And then we have Leo here and Leo here. So I would bet that this person has a lot of Leo placements or a lot of 5th house placements. They could actually be a Leo with Mercury in Virgo, because that is a placement that exists. If you have a Leo sun, you can have Mercury in Virgo. But that's very interesting. Lots of Leo, or just lots of fire, or maybe Leo's season is significant in some way. But on the sun card, we have radiant energy, warmth, which they were talking a lot about in the letter. That's super cool. Energy rush, freedom, optimism, success, happiness, positivity, vitality, truth, and yes. Big yes. This yes could be interpreted similarly as the go for it message, like say yes, go for it, do the thing. But some of you, If you've had any question lingering in your mind throughout this reading, this yes is maybe coming out to answer that question. Like if you've been watching this reading and thinking, oh, I wonder if this is talking about so-and-so, then this card is saying yes. Or when we're talking about going for it, starting new things, and you're thinking, oh, maybe this is referring to me starting that business that I've been thinking about, or this is referring to me pursuing my art more seriously, or like starting that YouTube channel. And then this is saying, yes, that is what we were talking about. This is a confirming yes, something that you have been wondering, something that you wanted clarification or wanted a sign for. This is saying yes. And it's interesting how we had the Emperor Lion was moving this way and the horse is moving this way. This is a really sweet dynamic where this person comes forward to you confidently, and so you feel free to reciprocate and you feel free to show your intimacy. So what I mean by that is that when this person makes their move towards you, when they initiate this new beginning, they do it with such a confidence that it comes through to you that there is no doubt in their mind. And they really don't hold back. They really don't hold back with their affection and with expressing how much you mean to them. And that makes you feel free. Like you don't have to move forward cautiously. I guess I could say it makes you feel safe. It makes you feel safe to be like this white horse, which makes me think of freedom. Oh, it literally says freedom on this card. My bad. But yeah, optimism, success, happiness, positivity. We've spoken about all of these things. Vitality, that's another big one that I should have mentioned before, with the Ace of Wands, with the Sun twice, with this Aries energy here. This is like physical vitality. Again, if you guys are sexual people, I feel like when you come together with this person, you might notice that your drive is really increasing, or that you just feel more generally energetic. There could also be some other physical activity that you guys enjoy a lot together, like you might enjoy exercising together or doing some kind of sport together, or maybe you like to go dancing with this person or something like that. You could become more outdoorsy or more adventurous when you're with this person as well. Or if you already have those traits, then this is a wonderful companion for you. I think you're also going to enjoy traveling with this person, going on excursions, enjoying nature. This is like an adventure companion. Yeah, that's how I feel about this energy. And oh my gosh, I just noticed we have Ace, which is a 1, we have 10, which reduces to 1, and we have 19, which also reduces to 1. So 1s are significant for you guys. If you're seeing repeating 1s, that is definitely a sign of this new beginning that's coming with this person. So what's the next deck? No, it's Oracle cards next. These are Oracle cards from various different decks that we're going to take a look now to get some additional messages and advice. So we have Healing Spell. Oh, like healing as if like magic. So another aspect or another product of this union could be deep healing. And I'm looking at this tree with the water underneath it, and I'm thinking of roots that have been so, roots that have been so parched, and they're finally getting like a drink of water that they've needed for so long. I feel like in many ways this partnership is like an oasis for you. And I'm hearing that throughout your life, or for quite some time now, you've been like this tree who feels pressure to show off this beautiful foliage. But it's like, how can you do that when the roots are not getting the nutrition that they need, when the roots aren't getting hydrated, or when they aren't getting, I don't know what it is, minerals from the soil? And so I'm thinking of the foliage of the tree as like the version of you that you present to the world, and your roots like the parts of you that nobody sees, or what goes on behind the scenes. And you've been like fighting this fight and feeling pressure to show off beautiful leaves to the world. But what people don't see and what people don't understand is like, my roots are not getting fed. It's like the part of the iceberg that you don't see. And this is a connection that feeds your roots. Whereas I feel like other connections have just tried to paint your leaves green again without getting to the root of the problem. Like, I don't want to deal with what's under there. I don't want to deal with the roots. I'm just going to paint the leaves green and act like everything's fine. This person is not afraid to dive deep with you and to get to the root, no pun intended, the root of your problems and nourish those roots. Oh my gosh, spirit guides with 1111. And we were just talking about how the number 1 is very significant for you guys. Your spirit guides are watching over your current love situation. Pay attention to repeating signs. Yes, especially repeating ones, or repeating dogs could also be a sign for you guys. This card also means that you are protected and it's safe for you to love, which you will definitely feel when you're with this person. And then we have sisterhood. Now is the time to seek the company of like-minded sisters. It can be difficult to find the right friends when you radiate a beautiful energy, because some people react strangely to you because they're insecure. Weren't we talking about something like that? Like, you're very aspirational. A lot of people look up to you and your soulmate as individuals and as a couple. And some people react strangely to you because they're insecure. But remember that not everyone is a bad person. This is a very good point. And look, what do we have here? Another freaking dog. There's a lot of dogs going on here. I don't know if you're gonna have a dog with this person, or if they already have a dog or something like that, but they seem to be significant. I actually really like this message, like, remember that not everyone is a bad person. And this is actually something I've been thinking about recently. We often kind of dismiss the behavior of people, or like negatively judge the behavior of people. And we say things like, oh, they're just jealous. They're just jealous. They're just insecure, as if that's like something to shame them for, when in fact, it's a very human emotion. It's a very human experience. Just the very fact of being jealous of someone does not make you a bad person, although it can lead you to take bad actions or treat people badly. And that's what really speaks the loudest. But it's interesting that this card is coming up. One thing that might happen before you come into union with your soulmate is that you might start to seek out different types of friends. Like, there may be certain friends that you don't vibe with anymore, or you're longing for like a different kind of friendship connection. And again, it doesn't mean that people you don't vibe with or people you can't have a good connection with are bad people, but maybe you're just on different wavelengths. And I think it's time for you guys to come into alignment with friends. They don't have to be female. This card does say sisterhood though, like soul sisters, soul siblings. But it is really time for you to come into alignment with people who are like-minded, you know, so much like this soulmate and much like the friends who will come in for you. And then finally, we have creative judgment. Never feeling good enough thwarts progress. No one starts out complete. We all need to warm up before we take to the stage. That's so interesting. We all need to warm up before we take to the stage, because I was getting this like shy or nervous feeling from your soulmate, and like they need some time to warm up to you or to feel ready to come forward like this confident emperor. But this message is also really interesting too. Never feeling good enough thwarts progress. No one starts out complete. I think it's important to remember that union is possible and union is coming, even if you don't feel like you're where you want to be in your spiritual journey, even if you don't feel like you're completely healed, or even with all of this Leo energy, this could be even if like you're not feeling completely comfortable with your physical appearance, or like where you want your body to be at, or something like that. You still deserve love when you're a work in progress, and you can still manifest and be a magnet for this union when you are a work in progress. Because one thing I do see is that you're going to go through a lot of healing together with this person, and a lot of the things that you once took so seriously, you're not going to take seriously anymore. And there could be many things that you're insecure about right now that, like, if you had a different perspective, you'd realize that these things are not serious at all. Like, they were never a big deal. And that's not to belittle what you're going through, because dealing with insecurity sucks. But I see you going through a shift in your mindset where you're like, wow, why did I put so much importance on this anyway? Like, this really doesn't matter. And like I said before, I see this connection really helping you to be like a carefree child. Like, little kids don't think about what they look like when they're playing, or like how people around them are looking at them. They just get lost. They get lost in the pleasure. They get lost in the fun. They get lost in the adventure. That's the energy that is here for you. So group number 1, these are all the messages I see for you in this part of the reading. So just to recap, in the extended reading, we are going to see whether your person already feels this connection or knows about this connection, and if so, what do they feel and what do they know? And we're also going to see what the future developments are in this connection and when those will be happening. So if you're interested in sticking around for that part of the reading, there will be a link in the description as well as in the pinned comment where you can go to your extended reading. But if not, I will end your reading here and say thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And you can also check out my Instagram where I post regular pick a card readings that will be linked to, as well as my music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song, so if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, the music channel will be linked down below for you as well. Group number 1, I'm sending you guys so much love to your soulmate and to your spiritual team as well. Thank you very much for being here. I truly appreciate your support, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye! Hi number 2s, so if you guys chose this little baby bird, this is going to be your reading. I'm not sure if this is a duck or a chick, but it's very cute. So how this reading is going to go, we're going to start off by opening up this letter and reading what your soulmate had to say to you, and then we're going to check the energy of this connection. So we're going to take a look at your current energy, their current energy, as well as the energy of your union. So what is it going to be like when you two have come together and reached your full potential together? And then in the second half of the reading, we are going to leave it pretty open, but basically we're going to get any messages about this relationship that you might need to know, or any advice that you might need in your journey to union with this person. So that's what we're going to be looking at in the reading on YouTube. And we will also have an extended reading in which we will see if your soulmate can feel this connection between the two of you, or if they already know about this connection, and if so, what do they feel and what do they know? And we'll also see what is happening next. So what's the next development in your soulmate journey and when that is going to be happening. And I actually lied, because just before opening up this letter and reading it, I did actually want to just talk about a few things that I picked up about this person's energy. While I was writing the letter, other information was coming through, not to be written in the letter as a message to you, but just like about them. And so I actually had, like, I was writing the letter and then, oh, this little bit of information came through, and then I actually took notes because I didn't want to forget anything. But one thing that came through is that this person does have a kind of goofball energy to them, or just a light-hearted energy. And maybe one of the reasons I was feeling this pretty strongly is because group 1, so the letter that came before them, was quite like serious and quite intense. So maybe their energy just felt that way in contrast, but I was getting the feeling that this is a funny person. Not funny as in weird, but funny as in comical. They know how to make you laugh. They know how to lighten the mood. They know how to brighten up any situation. I also got the feeling that this person has 2 siblings or maybe even more, or that they come from a big family, but that they're like the funny one of their family, like the really witty one of their family. And also they wrote very neatly. When I was writing the letter, like, I don't know, it just felt like they were writing very neatly and carefully compared to the letter before. So good handwriting might be a trait of this person as well. And I sort of also got the feeling that this person might use humor to like cover up intense emotions. So like if they're going through something kind of painful, they might crack jokes about it, which I honestly think there's nothing wrong with that. I think we can all use laughter when times are heavy, as long as you're not using that to like run away from your other emotions or to never process what you're going through. I think that cracking a joke here and there is perfectly fine, and it can actually be a really good way to get through things together. Like they say, laughter is the best medicine. But I found when I was writing the letter, like if it started to get a little bit emotional, like if things started to get a little bit too sentimental or too sappy, they would have an urge to throw in a joke. You know, so I don't know, maybe they're like uncomfortable with getting too sappy or something like that, but that was something I noticed about them. And also I heard like closeted perfectionist about their energy. I'm not sure if that's an actual expression, but basically someone like they are a perfectionist on the inside, but they wouldn't necessarily show that. So they come across as someone who's like, yeah, very laid back, very chill. But I think when it comes to, probably more so when it comes to themselves, their handwriting, for example, or their own work, they could be quite perfectionist or quite hard on themselves, is the feeling I'm getting. Like super laid back and tolerant with other people, but then when it comes to them, they're like, I must do everything perfectly. Yeah, but that was sort of what I was picking up about their energy right off the bat. And so with that, let's finally open this letter and see what is inside. Oh yeah, also one thing I wanted to tell you guys, they like, I don't know what happened, but in the middle of writing the letter, I don't know if they just like got distracted or didn't know what to write, but they started like doodling and drawing little faces on the hearts. Like their attention span just went like whoop somewhere else. Yeah, and they drew a couple little hearts and happy faces and stuff. Hello. So we start off very cheerful. Hello, you look lovely today and every day. It feels a bit weird to be writing a message here since we talk all the time, but I just want you to know that I love you and you deserve to have all of your dreams come true in this life. I hope you're doing amazing, and if not, we will find a way to get through the hard times together until you are doing amazing as you look. Wink. But all jokes aside, I am always with you. I mean it. If you look closely, you will see I'm always there in spirit. You know that, right? So please relax that beautiful head of yours. We are together and we got this. Love, their name. Okay, a couple things I want to point out. What did I want to point out? Oh, right. I wanted to point out, like, it feels weird to be writing a message here since we talk all the time. This made me think that you could be with this person, or like they're already heavily in your life, or there's a lot of telepathy going on if you haven't met this person already, because this could be, I don't know if I mentioned for this group, but this could be from their 3D self or their higher self, depending on your situation. But yeah, if you're not like already with this person or not like really involved in this person's life, they could be hinting that you do have a lot of telepathic communication, that they're always sending you messages, they're always sending you signs. That was like one thing that I wanted to address. And that they decided to double underline always, like they're really, really always with you. Definitely always with you in spirit. And that they signed with their name. this is, I don't know, maybe the third time I've done like a soulmate letter thing. Sometimes they just sign off as like your soulmate, or sometimes they don't write anything at all. Group number 1 didn't have these kinds of greetings, but I thought it was interesting that they really wanted to specify like I'm signing with my name here. Maybe it's you do know this person's name, or you know who this person is. With this and the we talk all the time, I was really getting the feeling that you at least know who this person is, like you know they exist. But yes, so I'm gonna leave little chickie, I think maybe it is a chick, I don't know, little chick duck right here. And now we are going to get into the cards. So we're gonna start off with this tarot deck to see your energy, their energy, and the energy of your union. So let's start with a card to represent group number 2's energy. And we have strength, a card to represent your soulmate's energy, the Hermit. That's funny, they do kind of sound Virgo-ish based on the energy I picked up from them. And then we have the Moon as the card to represent your union. So in terms of zodiac signs here, we do have Virgo, like I just mentioned. We also have Leo energy and Pisces energy. So these could be relevant signs, relevant placements of your person, or they might be yours. If not, there's no need to worry. It's just an extra layer of confirmation for those who may need it. I've also been pointing out like dates that could come from these numbers. That was something I felt like doing in group number 1, but this could be November 18th, November 9th, or September 11th, September 18th. They could be birthdays, they could be anniversaries, they could be like dates that you met or had a very significant sign, a very significant awakening moment. But okay, I also want to talk about the direction that these beings are facing. Of course, you and your soulmate are facing each other, which is very, very good sign because it means that you are well on your way to union. It means that you are pulling each other in right now. I just looked up and saw 10:01 on the camera timer, which is a mirrored number, 1001. So your energy is definitely mirroring each other, and you are moving towards each other now. Like you guys are both on track to bump into each other. But in the card that represents your union with the Moon, we have someone who is moving from this side over to that side. So that tells me the next step in the journey to union is going to be them moving towards you. Your soulmate coming to make a move towards you. If you guys have been wondering like whose turn is it to take action, it's them. At least for the next step, they're going to be coming towards you. They're going to be initiating towards you. Now, with you guys being represented by strength, I feel like, well, first of all, quite literally, this soulmate journey is one that you've had to be really emotionally strong to get through it. Like you've had to be really, really patient. And I don't know if you heard that, but also, I just saw 1111 and we're talking about the card number 11. So that might be an important number for you guys too. And also 9, because you have 9 here, 18, which reduces to 9. I said, you guys have been quite patient, and then a car outside went like boop, like just a cute little beep. And so that was probably like your spirit guide or your higher self being like tell me about it. That yes, you have been very patient. And strength is also about balancing our emotions or taming. I don't know if I like taming in this context, but taming our emotions by showing them compassion. I feel like you've become very mature in this journey, and you've really developed a good relationship with the universe. You've developed a relationship of trust with the universe and with yourself, with your own judgment. Also trust in this person to move towards you. But there could have been some moments where some kind of ugly emotions or just uncomfortable emotions arose. Like feelings of impatience, restlessness, frustration, hopelessness, struggling with control, which I think is something that this person as a perfectionist has probably dealt with as well, like really wanting things to go their particular way. And there's definitely had to be a surrender here. I also think that with this Leo energy, you maybe have dealt with a lot of insecurities on this journey, feeling like, what if my soulmate, or what if this person, because I feel like a lot of you know who this person is, or like already have this person on your mind. What if this person doesn't like me or isn't attracted to me, or what if I'm not good enough? Especially with strength, it's like in terms of physical appearance or talent, or like confidence, the way you carry yourself. I really feel like there's a part of you that wants to impress this person, and that's very, very understandable. And like, you want them to be attracted to you, of course. But I feel like maybe you've dealt with emotions of like, what if I'm not good enough or attractive enough or impressive enough or talented enough to like keep this person's attention? And you know, one thing about Leos is they really do want that attention, and they really do want that affection, which again is very understandable, because like, if this person is going to be your partner, of course you want those things from them. But sometimes it may be that you are very fixated on those things and feeling very insecure about those things. And that's something that you've struggled with and that you've had to work through. But maybe you've noticed this already, or maybe this is advice for you. We have to deal with those emotions with kindness and compassion, and not blame ourselves for feeling that way. Not like, oh, I'm so frustrated with myself. Like, why can't I just trust my intuition? Why can't I just be patient? Why do I feel the need to control everything? And like almost getting mad at yourself. We have to be kind and understanding to that part of ourselves. We have to treat it with kindness. We have to be gentle with it. So I think one aspect of your spiritual journey that this soulmate journey has really helped is like learning how to be kind with yourself, gentle with yourself, patient with yourself, and to then be patient on this journey. And I think one thing that your soulmate would really like to tell you is that your natural self is the best. Your natural self is the most attractive, and that means your natural appearance, your natural hair, your natural face, your natural body, your natural voice, your natural mannerisms, and your natural personality and preferences are like perfect. And your soulmate would never, ever want you to change anything about yourself. Not for them, not for anybody else. There's a huge difference between improving who you already naturally are and trying to become somebody else. And you don't have to become someone else, you just have to be you. Now let's talk about the Hermit a little bit. This is very interesting. I'm noticing that the Hermit, it looks like a mountain range. Like they're literally a mountain. And it's interesting because mountains talk about obstacles, and they talk about difficulties, you know, like coming up against difficulties in your life. And in this case, they literally are the mountain. So I feel like what your soulmate is going through right now, or like what they have been going through in this past cycle of their life, is kind of realizing like, wait a minute, what if I'm the problem in my life? Like, you know, all of these struggles I'm facing, what if I'm just getting in my own way? I think they've been realizing that the source of their anxieties, the source of their worries, it comes more from their perception, and it comes more from how they choose to react to things than the actual situation at hand. And I think they're learning how to let go and not stress over things that they can't control. I feel like they might have anxiety, or like they've struggled with that, like kind of pessimistic thinking, or just overthinking things a million times, or getting in their own way of happiness, like maybe self-sabotaging out of fear of failure or fear of judgment. it's a little bit vague right now. Maybe we'll see more details about it later in the reading, but I feel like they've had this moment of realization of like, oh shit, I'm in my own way. I'm the problem. And I think a big part of it is like, I think it's like caring what other people think, because the hermit is very wise and very much marches to the beat of their own drum. And it's like, how can I describe this? They're not going to be a victim anymore, or they're not going to be a prisoner in their own mind anymore. Like, sure, people could think whatever they want. They could judge me. They could criticize me. They could abandon me if I live my truth. But at the end of the day, it's my choice to let that control me. It's my choice to let that affect how I live my life. They don't have power over me unless I give that to them. They're changing their perception and they're putting the power back in their hands. So they're starting to live a life that is more independent. They actually might be pretty alone right now. And I'm very deliberately saying alone instead of lonely, because I think they're realizing, like, I feel in much better company when I'm by myself and when I'm living true to myself than if I'm surrounded with friends, family, acquaintances, whatever, and I'm not being authentic. Like, that feels more lonely than being by myself. Being with people who don't respect me or don't honor me, that's the loneliest feeling, actually. So I'd much rather be alone. And so I feel like they're going through a period right now where they're really enjoying their own company and really coming back to themselves. I feel like they haven't been going out much. Like, I'm thinking actually of the literal interpretation of a hermit. And they've just been in really deep contemplation. And this person could have actually gotten into like meditation or breathing exercises or something of that nature recently to help with their mental health, or to help with stimulating, which one is it? The parasympathetic nervous system, to feel more relaxed. But they're taking their healing, their mental healing, into their own hands. They're like detoxing. Number 9 is like, we're closing off cycles, we're healing, we're moving up. And they're like, yeah, if this means I'm gonna be alone, then so be it. But I'm not lonely, because I have my own company and I love my own company. And they're just concerned with being authentic and being surrounded by authenticity right now. And they could be kind of shedding old personas that they once had. And it's interesting because I feel like, I do believe that this person is naturally very, very funny, but they maybe leaned in a lot to that like funny, lighthearted personality because that's what people liked. But they actually have a side to them that's very like deep and philosophical and very serious. But I think for a lot of people, it's like, oh, that's too deep. Like, let's just lighten the mood. Let's just party, you know? And they're like, no, I don't want to do that anymore. They want to explore these deep relationships. Even 9 could be like the 9th house. They want someone, or they want people that they can get like deep and philosophical and spiritual with and explore their various layers. So yes, now let's talk about the moon, which represents your union. One thing that I really want to say, and that, you know, I was already picking up from this letter, is that there is definitely a very, very strong spiritual and psychic connection. You guys probably dream about each other a lot with the moon here. You dream about them, they dream about you. You maybe have even like literally met in your dreams. I don't know if you guys have talked about that before, or if you haven't met this person yet, you'll probably uncover that. You've had very similar dreams about each other. But yeah, this like, we talk all the time. I'm always with you. Like, psychically and spiritually, you guys are always really, really close together. And also with the moon, I feel like art, and with Leo energy as well, art could be something that really brings you guys close together, whether you or this person are artists, or you just like enjoy the same kind of art, or your souls might communicate to each other through art, like movies, books, music, images, these kinds of things. But the moon really tells me that the connection you guys share and how you make each other feel, it's kind of otherworldly. It goes beyond words. And I think it would be very hard to explain. It would be very hard to explain someone who hasn't been in a connection like this, who hasn't felt love like this. It's not really something you can put into words. This is Pisces energy, this is water energy, so it's elusive, it's fantastical, and it's very, very romantic. I think this is a connection where you'll really enjoy romance, and I think this person is really going to open up when you guys are together and become more comfortable with those, you know, sentimental, emotional, sappy, vulnerable types of things. But yeah, like it goes beyond words, it goes beyond this world. You could also, if you're not a night owl already, you could bring this kind of quality out of each other, like staying up really late talking on the phone, or like staying up really late discussing ideas, or again enjoying art, because I don't know, I just feel like that's something you do. Like if you're sharing music you like with each other, you're, you know, going back and forth sharing songs, and then you realize it's 2 a.m. Because you just, I don't know, space and time just stops existing when you're with this person. You like slip into another dimension. So that's the energy that I see of your connection. So let's move on to the next tarot deck and see what else you need to know about this relationship or about this journey. Also, I did want to mention, you guys might know I don't use reversals normally in readings, but today I am going to use them because this deck is super freaking cool, and it has like keywords for both the upright and reversed positions. It's super beautiful. It's really good for beginners, and I really like it. And so that's how we're going to use it today. Woo! That is sideways. So I'm going to do what I see ASO do sometimes. Okay, so this wants to be upright. We have the Devil, so Capricorn energy, and it says strings attached, things that grip you, the shadow self, materialism, restriction, obsession, addiction, and also sexuality and sex. So, okay, there could be a very strong sexual connection here, but also I feel like your soulmate has maybe a very high status, like they're in a very high position, they have a lot of authority, they could even have a lot of fame, or just a lot of eyes on them or something. And I feel like they've kind of come to resent it because it feels like chains on them. It's like how when you're a public figure, you can't actually say what you really want to say, because if you make one wrong move, or if you have an opinion that is not super squeaky clean, and the popular opinion, like people will come for you. And you know, that's something that I think is getting progressively worse with social media, but we have to be very censored. We have to be very filtered when we are in the public eye, or when we're in front of people. Or this person could be like a CEO, and so they have to really, and I'm like, they have to be really careful about what they say or how they present themselves or something like that. And I do think that, you know, this person could be outspoken, or they could be highly opinionated. They could have some unpopular opinions as well, that the world is just not ready for. Or maybe they just don't want people to be looking at them. Like maybe they simply just want privacy. You know, they don't necessarily have to be controversial at all. But there's something about their status, about their position, about their job that they feel is really like restricting them. And with this being Capricorn in 10th house energy, I do think it's because of like how far they've climbed up the ladder, if that makes sense. It's not just like, oh, I'm sick of my job because the hours are so long. It's like the position that they're in. Not that that wouldn't be completely valid, like being sick of your job because the hours is very, very valid. But I think in the case of this person, it's more like how many people are watching them, or like how high of a position they have, or how they kind of have to hide their true self and they can't say what they really think. Like, this is just a hypothetical example, but like, let's say they're a celebrity and they think that parasocial relationships are really weird. They can't say that because that would probably like offend a lot of people who have a parasocial relationship with them, if that makes sense. So they have to just kind of be like, yeah, I love you all so much, and not like, they can't talk about the things that bother them about having all of these people watching them. Yeah, I hope that you guys understand what I'm trying to say. And they could also just be in an industry that has a lot of materialism, and that is quite shallow, where you're just valued based off of like how much money you make, how many possessions you have, if you have the newest, latest, most expensive thing. And they've maybe seen people in their field like fall into these addictions. They could be addicted to materialism, addicted to status, addicted to power, or people could even be addicted to substances because deep down their soul is not fulfilled by playing this game and running in this hamster wheel, which leads them into those kinds of addictions. So I think they're kind of at a point of their life where they're saying like, screw this, and they're becoming kind of, I think reclusive is the word, or like, I'd rather be alone than be in these empty connections. Okay, we also have the Ace of Swords, and this is in reverse. A lack of ideas, reevaluate, misinformation, clouded judgment, hostility, blocked communication, redirect. And we have two cards coming out together, so I'm going to keep them together. Wow, this person is coming from a dark place. These are all in reverse. Excessive control and the love of money. So this person could, oh, this makes sense. This person was maybe being exploited in some way, or like their voice was being stifled, because the Ace of Swords in the upright would be like you're communicating very freely, you're communicating very openly. They've been stifled and there's like misinformation. So they feel like they can't be their true self, or maybe misinformation is spread about them, or like a persona of them is being perpetuated and they can't speak on who they really are. And then we have excessive control and the love of money, inflexible, undisciplined. Yeah, like it's like this person was in a cage or something. Inflexible, undisciplined, absent father or father issues, lack of control, rigid, dominate, aggressive. And then we have old money, married for money. This person could also have, they could have quite a bit of money. And so maybe they have attracted the wrong kind of person before, like someone who just wanted them for their money or just wanted them for their status. Bankrupt, contracts, they could have been in a bad contract. Inherited, family feud, money concerns, financial gains or loss. I feel like at one point they probably did really want to pursue what they have pursued, but they just ended up in a bad situation. Like they ended up in a bad contract, or they ended up under the control of someone who was very controlling or very stifling. And unfortunately, like they could have been encouraged by their family to keep going on this path because they're like, no, this is a really good job, or like, you're gonna make us a lot of money. They could have gotten into something when they were quite young and like didn't know any better. And now that they're older and wiser and have more of a sense of who they are, they see that this is not what they really want. This could be like for the first time they're going against their family's wishes or what people expect of them. And they're doing, like, they're creating radical change for themselves and doing something for themselves. I feel like they could be in a transition. They could be starting to pursue something more artistic or just something that feeds their soul. It could be something that is not really a conventional job. Or if they already are an artist, like they're definitely starting to do something that feels more authentic to them. But if you haven't met this person yet, or like you're not in union yet and you feel like you're being very patient or like made to wait, it's probably because they're closing out these cycles, which are very, very intense. We have all of these reversals, and then the only card that's upright is the freaking devil, which is not a very nice card. So I think they're coming through right now to tell you, like, this is what I'm going through right now. And that actually makes me so sad, because in the message that, in the letter that they write you, they're being all happy, like everything's, you know, everything's good, we're doing great, but like they're going through all of this stuff that I guess they didn't want to include in the letter to you. So there could be a part of them that like doesn't want you to see them like this. Or no, it's less about that, and it's more about they don't want you to get wrapped up in all of this, and they don't want to expose you to this like negativity, this like negative chapter that they're going through, because this is difficult ass energy, which I'm sure you guys can tell. So let's take a look. We do have Capricorn here, which I mentioned before. We also have air signs in the Ace of Swords, which is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. I kind of feel all of these energies within them. Gemini, because they have a very quick wit, they're very intelligent. Libra, because there's a focus for them right now of like not people pleasing or not living for others. And Aquarius, because they're about to rebel and make a radical change, or they are in the process of doing that. We also have Aries and Mars, so like taking charge of their life, taking action. And then we have Mercury in Virgo, which you could have Mercury in Virgo if you are a Leo, a Virgo, or a Libra. But yes, I just wanted to mention all of those. And I just love this deck so much, because it has all the keywords and it has all of the zodiac associations, which is super helpful for beginners. And also the imagery is really, really nice. So for the final part of this reading, we're going to take a look at some oracle cards from various decks for our final messages and advice. Ooh, so we have Money Spell. Yeah, I feel like there's a new start in their career coming. And the career, again, influencing factors. There are influencing factors at play regarding your love life. Money issues can play a role, as well as a career change and foreign countries and cultures. That's interesting. I feel like group 1 had a similar message like this as well. Like career changes or different countries or cultures could play a role. With this graduation hat, I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you guys are in school, there's a message to stay in school. Or like if you're really close to finishing a program, but you're like, you're feeling like you want to give up. I feel like this is saying don't give up. Like finish the program, get your degree. It's going to be really helpful at some point in your life. We also have like religious factors here. Maybe this person comes from a religious family, or you come from a religious family. But yeah, I feel like if you've felt like there haven't been blockages in this connection, because everything that's happening is what needs to happen. But if you felt like things are taking a long time, I really think it's because of the changes that your soulmate has to make, cycles that they need to close out. Maybe there's like contracts that they just need to like run their course and need to end. But again, I feel like they're going to be coming towards you next. And yeah, 9th house, that can also talk about, it's funny, we were talking about how they're like really philosophical, or they like to have deep philosophical conversations about like the meaning of life or about spirituality. And I think that that's a very 9th house kind of thing. And also education might be significant. Maybe they're going to go back to school. Maybe you're thinking about going back to school and this is like your sign to do it. Or you could have similar educational backgrounds as well. We have new life. My dear child, now is the time to reinvent yourself. This is a new chapter in your life. Let the waters of creation wash any old beliefs and negativities away and let yourself be reborn. I can definitely see how this would be a message about them, but if you feel like you resonate with this message as well, please feel free to claim this for yourself. And I should mention, you know, if any of this sounds like something that you're going through, it's very, very possible that you guys are mirroring each other. I even saw at the beginning of the reading 10:01, and you guys are moving towards each other. And I felt like there was some kind of heavy mirroring going on. Even if your external circumstances are not the same, you could definitely be going through the same emotional and spiritual processes. So you could also be in the process of reinventing yourself, of freeing yourself from shallow or materialistic or restrictive thoughts. And then we have creative experience. This is what you're really here for. No matter the outcome, you've signed up to use your creative intelligence. So they, and maybe you, if you resonate with this as well, are really longing to use your creativity and to use your talents and to express yourself and to not just be a cog in a machine, to be free and to express yourself and to work and to live on your own terms. And this will be a chapter in your lives where you're more focused on the journey rather than the destination. No matter the outcome, you just want to be creative. You just want to use your voice. You just want to live true to yourself. Because the destination, reaching the destination is like 1% of our journey. The other 99% is the journey itself. And you sure as hell better enjoy that. There's like a mindset shift amongst one or both of you that's like, you're no longer thinking in that way of like, okay, I can be struggling now, or I could be miserable now because, you know, it's going to be worth it in the end and I'll have a happy future. It's like, no, I want to enjoy the now too. I want to enjoy the present too. I can have a pleasant now and a pleasant future. I don't have to have a shitty present just so that I secure a nice future for myself. I want to enjoy the whole ride. That's what I deserve, and that's what I can create for myself if I choose to empower myself. And they're definitely realizing, you know, I got myself into all of these situations. I said yes. And it's not to say it's my fault, but it's to say I can take accountability and I can get myself out of this and I can create a new life. And that's the energy they're in right now. And, you know, I've been talking a lot about them during this reading, which I think makes sense because this feels like messages from them that they've really wanted to get off of their chest. And maybe that you needed to know if you were feeling confused about like, why hasn't this union come yet? Why haven't they entered my life yet? There's a lot going on that you don't need to be involved in. Not saying like it's none of your business, but like it's better. It's best for you. It's best for you to not walk in on this shitstorm, to be honest, that they're like trying to get out of right now. And although their soul is always with you, their higher self is always with you, I could definitely see their human self being a little bit distant if you were to come into their life during this time, because we only have so much mental capacity, and something like this would be very, very draining. So yes, I think on your end, it would require patience, and we can send a lot of love to this person because I know that they're sending a lot of love to you for whatever you are going through, whether it's something similar or not, but they will be on their way to you. Yes, so this is what I'm seeing for the YouTube portion of this reading. So just to recap. In the extended reading, we're going to see, does this person feel your connection? Do they know about the soul connection between you? And if so, what do they feel and what do they know? And we're also going to see what's happening next in this journey and when that's going to be happening. So if that is something that interests you and you would like to watch the extended reading, it will be linked in the description as well as in the pinned comment. But if not, then I will end your reading here and say thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And you can also check out my Instagram where I post regular pick a card readings too, and my music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song, so if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, the music channel will be linked down below for you as well. Group number 2, I'm sending you guys so much love to your soulmate as well, and to your spiritual team. Thank you very, very much for being here. I truly appreciate your support, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye! Hi number 3s, so if you guys chose the little bear, this is going to be your reading. So we're going to start off this reading by opening up the envelope and reading the letter from your soulmate that is inside, and then we're going to be taking a look at your soulmate connection. So we're going to look at your energy, their energy, as well as the energy of your union. So basically, what will it be like when you are in your full union together? And then in the next part of the reading, we're going to, it's going to be pretty open, but we'll be getting any information that you guys might need or want to know about this person, about your relationship, about the journey that you're on, as well as advice for your journey into union with this person. So that's what we're going to look at in this part of the reading here on YouTube, but there's also going to be an extended reading today. So in that part of the reading, we're going to see whether your soulmate knows about the connection with you or feels the spiritual connection between the two of you, and if so, what do they know or what do they feel? And we're also going to see what's happening next. So what is the next development that's coming in your soulmate journey and when that is going to happen. Yes. And actually, before we open this envelope, it's funny, like from group 2 onwards, when I was writing the letters, not only were messages coming up to put inside the letter, like channeled messages directly from your soulmate, but there were also messages coming through just like general information about this person. So after writing the letter, I also wrote a bunch of notes about your soulmate. I didn't want to forget them because they came through like at the same time I was writing the letter. And I feel like quite a bit came through for this one, group number 3. When I look at the page of notes, like group number 3's passage is a lot bigger than the other ones. But one thing that I felt was that this is maybe somebody you don't know yet, or at the very least you're not with yet, because I didn't really sense that they recognized you were their soulmate. They definitely feel or believe very strongly that they do have a soulmate, and that's something you'll see in the letter. Like they definitely believe in the concept of soulmates and are looking for you, but it felt like that recognition of like my soulmate equals group 3 was maybe not there yet, and that could be because they haven't met you yet, or like don't know who you are yet, or even if you do know each other, it's like maybe it hasn't clicked yet, was sort of the vibe that I was getting. I also felt that this is someone who maybe has some trouble putting their feelings into words. It's not that they have trouble expressing their emotions, like it's not like they're afraid of getting emotional, but it was more just like they have trouble finding the right vocabulary, finding the right like wording to accurately express how they feel. And I was thinking even maybe for some of these people, like there's going to be a language barrier. So like your first language is not theirs. Well, yes, you know what language barrier means. Or even if you do speak the same language, they could just have a hard time with words, honestly. Like even I have a hard time with that in my native language. I think it's not that uncommon. But yeah, their energy did come across as like a little bit stiff. maybe they were just feeling a bit shy, but it was like kind of hard to get the creative writing juices flowing with this letter. And they came across as someone who is like quite logical, analytical, rational, methodical, tend to make decisions with their head rather than their heart type of person. They could be someone who is older than you, or they just have a very mature energy. They seemed like a very mature person, someone who stays very calm, even under pressure or under conflict, or when they're upset, they can stay calm and work through things calmly, which is quite nice. And they do present as more serious. I think that they definitely have a funny and playful and soft side that comes out when they're more comfortable. And so you'll definitely get to see that side of them. But the vibe that I was getting is that they're a little bit awkward when it comes to showing their funny and playful side. And also, I feel like a lot of what makes them so funny is like things that they do or say when they're not necessarily trying to be funny. Like they're just kind of silly or just kind of awkward. They're not being like, hey, want to hear a funny joke? They're just like, this was an elbow nudge, by the way. They're just, you know, being themselves, and then they happen to do something that's really, really funny. And they can definitely like joke around and laugh at themselves, but I think it takes time for them to like get to that place with someone. It kind of seemed like they still feel a little bit awkward with that aspect of themselves. And I actually wrote down in the notes, like, hasn't been encouraged much. And then in brackets, strict upbringing or strict school or strict work, etc. So I guess at that time when I was writing the letter, like I picked up that they totally do have that funny and soft and goofball side to them, but the people that they've grown up around, or like the school or work environment that they're in, it doesn't really encourage that. Like you have to be quite serious and be quite on top of things. So it's just not something that comes naturally to them. But when they're in the right environment, they can definitely like loosen up and soften up and be more silly. That was kind of the vibe I was getting from them. And then also that this person is really starting to become interested in spirituality, or starting to like actively explore it more. I think that up until recently, again, based on the environment that they grew up around or the people that they spend time with, there wasn't a lot of talk about spirituality. So it's something that's maybe not super familiar to them, but I think that they have been exposed to more esoteric ideas, and it's something that they're really curious about. It really resonates with them, and I do think that they're quite open to it because, like I mentioned before, it really was coming through that this person does believe in soulmates. They do believe that they have one. They do believe that there is a greater plan for them in this lifetime. So they're very, very open to spiritual concepts, not just open to it in a passive way, but like, I feel like they're at a point in their life where they would really like to learn more about it. They could be reading books or reading articles online, watching YouTube videos or something like that. But like they're getting into it, which is super cool. So, wow, that was a lot. You see, there was a lot of notes about this person that were coming through, like, and it's funny. I feel like writing a letter is such a formal thing, but then if I got to like talk to your soulmate's higher self off the letter, it's like there's less pressure, there's not such a strict format, and then they could tell me a lot about them, if that makes sense. But yeah, okay, let's open the letter. Okay, dear soulmate, I want you to know that I do believe in you. I really think that you are somewhere out there, maybe even waiting for me. I think about you a lot and wonder what you would be like, what our life would be like if you could be happy with someone like me. I think of ways I would want to support you and bring joy to your life. I feel so ready to make space for you, to take care of you, and build a home together. I wish there were a way to tell you that, to call out to you and let you know I'm here. Until I can see you, please take good care of yourself. It may be soon to say it, but I already love you so much. Please believe in me too. I love you. your soulmate, and then they put their name here. When I was reading this letter, Cancer and Capricorn vibes started coming to me, but there's just a few things that I want to mention. First of all, this person properly indented their paragraphs, which I think not everybody did, so good for them. They have proper writing format. Also that they called you dear soulmate. Again, this confirms that they're really open to and believe in that concept. But this was also one of those things that made me think like maybe they don't know of you yet, or like you guys haven't met yet, and they're confirming like, I do believe in you, I do believe you are out there. And also waiting for me. They deliberately wanted to write waiting for me as opposed to looking for me. That could mean that they're going to be the one to come and find you. But there was also this feeling of like, I don't want to be presumptuous, you know? I don't want to assume that you're looking for me. So maybe you're just waiting for me or wondering about me. They just didn't want to be presumptuous. And then yes, they think about you a lot. I think they daydream about finding you and being with you a lot. And I sort of got a sad tinge during this part because it feels like maybe with the people currently in their life, they feel kind of misunderstood. And actually a big part of that, I think, is people kind of being too serious or taking life too seriously. Whereas I feel like this is actually a very, very playful person at heart who just hasn't had, like they're a kid at heart and everyone around them is trying to be like a grown, mature, serious adult. And they don't really feel like that inner childlike part of them gets to come out or is not encouraged very much. And also I think a big thing is that maybe no one around them is spiritual, whereas they do feel very, very spiritual, and they would love to explore that side of them more too, but it seems like everyone around them just like doesn't believe in that stuff or doesn't have time to talk about that kind of thing. So they want someone that they can have fun with, and they want someone that they can be open about their spirituality with, someone who won't judge them for that, and that they can share insights with. And also with this, if you could be happy with someone like me, I don't necessarily think that this is like a self-deprecating thing. I more so got the vibe that like maybe this person is very, very busy or something like that. So they're like, you know, I don't know if I can make you happy because I'm going to be really busy, or I have a lot on my plate or something like that. I didn't get the feeling that they were being like, oh, if you can be happy with this, you know, subpar person like me. It didn't come through like that. So I just wanted to clarify that. And also, I know this is a bear, but I am getting beaver vibes from this person. Beavers are very hardworking. As a spirit animal, they're considered to be like family oriented, and they want to provide for their loved ones. I really got that vibe from this person. Like they're so ready, like they said, they're so ready to support you, to make you happy, to nurture you, to take care of you. This person is so ready to make you a priority. And yeah, I wish there was a way to tell you that. I wish there was a way to call out to you. It may be too soon, but I already love you so much. Please believe in me. There is a feeling of like, I'm not here yet, but I'm coming, and like, please believe that. And I wish that I could be there right now. I wish that I could hold you right now. This could also be like a long distance situation if you do know this person. But yeah, there's that feeling of like, please wait for me. Please keep believing in me. And then they signed it as your soulmate, and then with their name too. So yeah, this is a very sweet letter. All right, so finally let's get into the cards. So we're gonna pull, woo, oh my gosh. We're gonna pull some cards. This person might actually be quite interested in tarot or interested in divination, maybe has even watched tarot videos before. For your energy, we have strength. For their energy, we have the sun. And for the energy representing your union, we have, the Hierophant, yay. Okay, so I actually want to start off with this Hierophant card because I totally get the vibe that there is like a primary spirit guide or a primary guardian angel who is responsible for both of you, who is overseeing your journey, and who is going to ascertain your union. I am totally seeing these two like floating balls as your souls who are coming together, and the Hierophant is the one who is directing you, who is guiding you. The name Metatron is coming to my mind very clearly. I don't think that is for all of you, but if some of you feel connected to Metatron, or if that name has been following you around, you might want to look into it, because that might be a guardian angel who is helping you. But this could also be your primary spirit guide. It could be an ancestor, a passed on loved one. It could be a deity. It could be an ET. It could be so many different types of entities, but this is a wise, loving entity who is overseeing your journey and will make sure that you come together. And I want to specify that it feels personal. Like, this is someone who knows you and has a close personal relationship with you. This spirit, I mean, this is not someone who's like, oh, I'm in charge of helping this wave of twin flames come together, or like this wave of soulmates come together. It feels like this is someone who's like working closely with you, if that makes sense. Although they could be working with other people, but they want you to know that they have like a close individual relationship with you. I hope that that makes sense. The ins and outs of what spirits do is baffling, but anyway, they're here for you personally. They're here for you individually. They want to clarify that. And this is the third group in a row where I'm getting the feeling that they are coming towards you next. And the reason I say that is because the color of the border on the Hierophant card is the same as your soulmate's color. So that's indicating to me that like their energy is imbued in this union. So maybe they were right for saying that you are waiting for them. And also we have you coming up as strength, which means that you're being very patient right now. So yeah, it seems like at least for the next step, the next development in this journey, they're going to be coming towards you in some way. And also the Hierophant, it looks like they're holding up their hand to you like, wait a minute, now just wait a minute. And then they're like saying to the soulmate, like, you may proceed. So I think that they're going to be coming towards you next. And then the other thing that I want to mention is that you guys are both coming up as Leo cards. Both the Strength and the Sun are the sign of Leo. You could very well be Leos, but I think that this could also just be indicating that you have the same zodiac sign. So like you're born in the same month or like very close to each other. Yes, that would mean you have the same zodiac sign. Or like your birth charts are very similar or very compatible in some ways. And now I also want to talk about the Sun card for your soulmate, because this is the card. First of all, they look very childlike, and you might know that usually on the Sun card there's like a baby who's all like woo. And so I really think that your soulmate is wanting to reconnect with their inner child. They're wanting their next chapter of life to be focused on play, on fun, on pleasure, on adventure, and on being creative. I don't necessarily get the vibe that either of you are about to make any like huge transitions in your life. And the reason for that is that these are all fixed signs. We have Leo, Leo, and Taurus energy here, all fixed. That means stable. They're not moving a lot. So I think this is actually a good sign, because it means that in order to come into alignment with this union, you don't necessarily really have to make any huge changes to your life, which is actually quite different from what we saw in the previous groups. There was stuff like, oh, someone's going to be moving, someone's going to have a career change, but I feel like actually you and this person are exactly where you need to be. or if there's any big changes that need to be made, you've probably already like planned them and they're already happening. So you don't have to be like, oh no, what am I supposed to do? And be like looking around for changes to make. I feel like you've either already made those changes or they're already set to happen. So like, for example, maybe it's already been decided that you will be like, I don't know, changing departments in November or something like that. You don't have to find any new changes to make. Like, you're already on track. You're already coming towards each other. But yeah, I felt like specifying. I don't think that, well, they could be changing their friends, but I don't get the vibe that this person is like, oh, I'm gonna break free and start a new life. It's just that they're gonna make an effort to take stuff a bit less seriously and to have more fun in their life and to incorporate more play, or to spend more time on hobbies and being creative, or find new hobbies. Like, they just want to bring more play and bring more pleasure and bring more fun into their life. And actually that might be how you guys meet or come together. If you haven't yet, is like when you're in the spirit of like, oh, I'm gonna go out more and do more fun things. Like, I'm gonna try more hobbies. I'm gonna go on more outings. I'm gonna check out that new place in town. When you're in that kind of like outgoing and fun oriented and out and about energy, that could be when you guys find each other. And also, I don't know, this is making me think like you guys have been in each other's orbits for some time. Almost like you guys have maybe just like narrowly missed each other sometimes. Like, I don't know, maybe you were at the same concert, or like you were on the same plane once, or like you've been in each other's like area, but maybe it just like wasn't time yet. I don't know, because this looks like these two people are chasing each other in circles. So you've definitely been close to each other. You've definitely like been in each other's fields or been in each other's energy. But it's now time for like a union to happen. And I love that we have the Hierophant too, because this does talk about long-term commitments. It can talk about marriage. And so I really feel like both of you are ready for that. You're ready for your long-term future together. Whether that includes something traditional like marriage or not, that is very much up to you. But I do think that you're ready to build your home and build your future together. And with you guys being strength, I know that you guys have been very strong and that you guys have been very patient. This came out in a different group for like your energy. So it's interesting to see that again. But yes, I feel like this is an ode to your patience. And also, I didn't feel called to say this interpretation for the other group, but for you guys I do. Quite often I think of strength as an indicator that you and this soul are best friends, like you're inseparable, you've been together forever. So you will likely feel a very, very strong familiarity when you meet. And specifically, I feel like you wouldn't feel nervous or butterflies or anything. It would just feel like, it would feel like a relief. It would feel like coming home. It would immediately feel comfortable. It would feel like when you come home to your cat, you know, like, oh, my cat doesn't judge me or my pet, whatever. You never judge me. You just love me for how I am. You don't feel nervous when you're around your cat. It's the same thing. I'm not saying they're like your pet, but it's that same level of just pure comfort and familiarity. Not like, oh my God, it's them. I have to impress them. Like, do I look okay? Like, there's none of that. It's as if you're coming home to your furry friend who never judges you and who's always loyal to you. Maybe a weird comparison, but if you guys have pets, you will know what I'm talking about. Just that unconditional love and comfort, and there's no need to impress anyone or prove yourself. So you skip the butterflies and the nerves, and you're just like immediately friends. And actually, when you have your first date, there might be moments where like you kind of slip and say something embarrassing or awkward, or what would normally make you feel awkward and embarrassed, but with this person you don't even feel that way because they just make you feel so comfortable. So like, I don't know, if you're stuttering with your words, or if you accidentally overshare, or if you spill wine on yourself, or like spill sauce on yourself, like, you know, usually when you're on a first date, you'd be like, oh my God, like kill me now. But it's like, ah, whatever, like I'm out with my best friend, who cares? That's the kind of vibe that you guys immediately have. Okay, and then let's point out the numbers, because I've been feeling called to read these like potential important dates for some reason. So November 5th, November 19th, or May 11th or May 19th could be important dates. Yes, so let's move on to the next deck. So now we're going to use the Intuit Tarot. And some of you guys might know that I don't normally use reversals in my readings, but for this deck I am going to use them, because this deck is super cool and it has like keywords for both the upright and reverse positions, and it also has like the astrological associations, which I love, and the artwork is super beautiful. So it's a really, really cool deck, and she shuffles like a dream. I really appreciate that. Woo! All right. So in this part of the reading, we just want to uncover any information that you might need to know about the person, about what they're going through, about what you're going through, about your journey to union, anything that wants to come out. Okay, so we have the Ten of Cups in reverse: disconnected family, imbalance, broken, discord, inauthentic relationships, false sense of security, and misalliance. So, oh, and we also have Mars in Pisces energy here. I can definitely see how this is their energy. If you resonate with this energy as well, you might be mirroring each other, but I do think that at this point in their life, they're feeling a sort of disconnect from the people around them. People whom they love very much and care about very much. So this is not them saying like, screw these people. It's not like that at all, but I think they might be feeling a little bit lonely, because the people they spend the most time around and really love and care about, like family and friends, maybe they're feeling like, you know, I'm accessing this new facet of myself. I'm reconnecting with my inner child and connecting perhaps for the first time with my spirituality and with my soul. And I don't really feel like these people will get it, or that they'll connect with that side of me. And I do want to point out, this is just my personal, is it an opinion or is it an observation? Let's go with my personal opinion. I feel like sometimes just because we feel this way, it doesn't necessarily mean that that would be true. Like, oh, if I open up to these people, they wouldn't understand. And because I've felt this way quite a bit with my friends or family, and more often than not, when I do open up, they do understand and they are very kind and accepting. So sometimes we kind of jump to these conclusions, not because of the people, but just because of our fear of opening up, or like a sense of insecurity that we have. You know, sometimes we open up and everything goes amazing. So I don't want to say necessarily that like, oh, this person's friends and family like wouldn't understand them, or they would judge them, but that's just the feeling that they're getting. And maybe they're just a little bit scared to talk about this new aspect of themselves that they've found. But you never know, like if they were to tell their friends, you know, I've been getting into spirituality recently, their friends might then go and say, you know what, me too, but I was kind of afraid to talk about it because it's a little bit weird, right? Like I felt like maybe I was going crazy, and they might actually start a really nice conversation about it. And if you guys resonate with this energy, that might be the case for you as well. But I am more of a type to encourage to open up and just show that side of yourself. And if they accept it and if they understand it, then that's amazing. And if they don't, then they don't. And that's the worst that can happen. But maybe this is just representing that they feel a little bit wary of opening up, because it does seem that people around them tend to have a more serious persona and a more like very logical and rational persona. And they're just not sure if they can let their inner child come out yet, or let that spiritual or creative side of them come out yet. I want to, where did it go? The stone. Yeah. For situations like these, I feel like Morganite helps a lot to open up to the people we care about and deepen the bond. Okay. We also have the 5 of coins in reverse. Out of the woods, looking ahead, positive changes, rebuild, acceptance, recovery, and turning point. Wow, okay, so work and finances and career seems to be going very well for this person. That's probably why I got that feeling of like, I don't see any major changes in their life. Like, I don't think they're planning on like leaving anything behind right now, rather just doing things to add more value to their life. But with all this fixed energy and with the beaver energy that I was feeling from them, I feel like this person is very, very committed and very, very persistent. That means in their relationships, they're very loyal and very committed. Like they'll be by your side no matter what. And also just like whatever they commit to. So like if they're committed to a job and that, you know, the company starts struggling, they're not going to just jump ship and be like, okay, you're on your own. I'm going to find a better job. I'm going to switch to a company that's doing well. They feel like that sense of loyalty to the company, and they will like put in their work and invest their energy to help the company succeed again. And I feel like that might be something that this person has just gone through. But that's just their personality. So if ever the two of you were struggling in your relationship, like if you were struggling with money, or if you were like you weren't seeing eye to eye, they would be like, well, we're just gonna keep talking this through. We're gonna keep fighting until we figure it out. Like when they commit to you, they're freaking committed. And that's one thing that you have to know about them. They're extremely loyal. So I think they've maybe just gone through something like this at work, where like their company was struggling or they were struggling, and they persisted and they changed their fate. And now they're out of the woods and now they're experiencing success. Which is awesome, because, you know, sometimes we see, and I think there was another group that had a message like this. Sometimes we see in soulmate readings like, oh, this person is dealing with financial issues right now and like they're not ready for a relationship. But as this card says, they're literally out of the woods. So we have nothing to worry about there. And we also have Mercury in Taurus energy. Okay, and then we have the 8 of Swords with self-entrapment and with Jupiter in Gemini. Negative thoughts, doom and gloom, drama queen, hands tied, paralyzed, and crisis. I do want to point out that I think Jupiter is going to enter Gemini in a couple years, 2024. I'll put a subtitle if I'm wrong, but I think it's 2024, so that might be a significant year in this relationship, like when something big happens in your relationship. Did I already read the keywords? I think so. But basically this is a card about being stuck in your own head, about being stuck in your own negative thoughts. It's very, very interesting that this card comes out after we spoke about them feeling kind of lonely and disconnected, because it's like maybe that's a mental blockage of your own making. And yeah, Morganite would be very, very useful for you guys. Morganite, rose quartz, rhodochrosite, pink crystals. But yeah, I feel like they're maybe telling themselves this kind of story of like, and maybe everyone is. Maybe their friends are telling themselves this story too, and their family is telling themselves this story too, that like, you know, everybody wants to let their inner child come out more. Everybody wants to let their spiritual side come out more, but then everybody feels afraid, so everybody doesn't do it. And then everybody's like, well, no one else is doing it, so they probably judge me. You know, I feel like it's just stories that people keep telling themselves, and it just takes one person to open up and to show their true self, or to express what they really want to express, and then that creates like a chain reaction. And I have, sorry, this card wanted to fall out, rewards of your labor, which we'll get to in a second. But yeah, I feel like this is maybe not necessarily a truth that they're disconnected or that they wouldn't be understood. It's just something that they're afraid of. And again, you guys might resonate with this energy as well. So I feel like it's just a shift in their mentality. I don't see this person like changing jobs or changing a bunch of connections in their life. I see themselves in their current circumstances just learning to let themselves shine more. And I really strongly think now that the people in their life will embrace that and will accept that, and it will actually inspire them to express themselves more authentically as well. And let's look at this 9 of coins too. I feel like the 5 of coins in reverse is basically a 9 of coins. Rewards of your labor, and we have Venus in Virgo. Status, abundance, self-sufficient, sophistication, taking it easy on your own, maturation, fulfillment, and freedom. And let's just go ahead and cover this up like that. This is the energy that they've come into. And finally, we have, the sun. And this is Leo energy. So even more Leo. Lots of Leo going on. Radiant energy, warmth, energy rush, freedom, optimism, success, happiness, positivity, vitality, truth, and yes. You know what? This person is maybe on their way to, it's either like an early retirement because they've done so well, or they are moving into a more flexible lifestyle. With the sun and the 9 of pentacles, this gives me like a very balanced lifestyle. Like we spoke about before, lots of time and space for hobbies and pleasure. Because I feel like they're gonna start like taking more breaks or going on more vacations. I also feel like you could travel a lot with this person, but they really want to show you the finer things in life. And I don't think that this person is materialistic. I just think that they really want to like provide for you and make you feel special, and they want you to have lots of amazing experiences. So I think they're gonna take you out to lovely places a lot, and yes, that you will travel a lot as well. And you're really gonna get to see like the playful and adventurous side of this person blossom, which is really, really sweet. Okay, so now we will take a look at these oracle cards for any other messages and advice that you might need to know. So we have meditation. That could be something that this person is very into, because we spoke about them getting into a spiritual journey. They might do spirit guide meditations. I bet you anything they've done like a soulmate meditation to like see if they can connect with you or get any information about you. We also have boundaries. You need to set better boundaries. Keep your energy balanced and protected. If needed, spend some time alone. It's okay to say no. I feel like this is a message for you guys. Keep your energy balanced and protected. Spend time alone. It's okay to say no. You guys might be taking on too much right now. Also, is this a number 12? There's a tiny little number 12 here. And then there's also a number 12 here. So that could be a significant number for you guys. We have intuition. This is for both of you. Both of you are working on this right now. My dear child, I see that your psychic gifts are strong at this moment in time. So there is a psychic connection here. Use them. This is a good time to get more information about something. Follow your intuition. So as your union is drawing near with this person, you might start to develop a sort of claircognizance about them, where you're uncovering more information about their personality, about what they do, about their astrological signs. And I feel like both of you are like uncovering information about each other. I do think that you have a telepathic connection, which in the next part of the reading we'll get into that more, like what they've been feeling and experiencing. But and yes, oh my God, like 12 is related to the 12th house. It's related to the Hanged Man. This is like Piscean, psychic, intuitive energy. So you're very psychically connected right now. And maybe this is like, we have yes, which is like a confirming message. This might be your confirmation that like what you're picking up on is in fact their energy. And then finally we have creative masks. So it's interesting that we're talking about masks. And I feel like at least this person, but maybe you as well, have been kind of hiding aspects of yourself from the people around you. Yes, hiding, safety, ruled by desire to fit in, fear of standing out, beholden to the collective. When I'm reading this, this person might come from a culture where like standing out is not a good thing. It's said, obviously you can't speak for everyone and it's kind of a generalization, but it's said quite a bit that like in Japan's culture, like standing out is bad, and it's more like is collectivist the word? It's more like a collectivist culture. Obviously every individual is different, but it's generally said that about the culture. So they could also come from a culture where that is like what is generally said, that like it's better to fit in, and not draw attention to yourself. And maybe that's why, you know, all this Leo energy, like being the main character, letting your light shine, being really proud of yourself, strutting your stuff, for lack of a better word, that might be something that's still kind of uncomfortable for them. Also for you guys, because again, these messages could totally resonate for you too. And it's quite likely that you're mirroring each other. And then we have use your masks, but with discernment, which is super interesting because we have this boundaries card. Like, it's important to have masks sometimes. We don't want to go sharing everything about the truest depths of ourselves with everybody. Sometimes we have to put on these masks for privacy. Sometimes we have to put on these masks so that people can't take advantage of us. But it's sad if we feel like we need these masks with people who are close to us and people we love. So it's not about like, should I wear a mask or not? It's when should I wear a mask and when should I take it off? And I feel like in this case, I feel like it's time to take our masks off, especially with like loved ones and people we care about. This is like very strongly the feeling that I am getting. So, group number 3. These are all the messages I have for you guys. Oh, yes, I should recap. In the extended part of the reading, we're going to see whether this person knows about your connection or feels your connection. We know at the very least that they know you're out there. So probably this is going to be more like, what have they been picking up on about you? Or like, have they been picking up any specific like details about you or any specific signs and synchronicities? And then we're also going to see what's coming next in this connection, what is happening next for you, and when that is going to happen. So if that is something that interests you and you would like to watch the extended reading today, there will be a link down below in the description as well as in the pinned comment. But if not, I will end your reading here and say thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And you can also, is this the part? I don't know. I always mess up this outro. You can also check out my Instagram where I regularly post pick a card readings, and you can check out my music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song, so if you're interested in listening to that or any of my other songs, the music channel will be linked down below for you as well. Group number 3, I'm sending you guys so much love, and much love to your soulmate as well, and to all of your loved ones, as well as your guide here and all of your spiritual team. Thank you very much for being here. I truly appreciate your support, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye! Hi number 4s, so if you guys chose the little cat, this is going to be your reading. So we're going to start off this reading by opening up the envelope and seeing what is written inside from your soulmate, and then we are going to take a look at the energy of this connection. So we're going to look at your current energy, your soulmate's current energy, as well as the energy of your union. So basically, what is it going to be like when you come together into full union? And then for the second half of this reading, we're going to leave it pretty open, but basically we will uncover any messages that you might need or want to know about this person, about the relationship, about your journey towards each other, and we'll also get some advice for you on this journey to union. So that's what we're going to be looking at in the reading on YouTube, but there's also going to be an extended reading today, and in that part of the reading we're going to see whether your soulmate knows about this connection between the two of you or feels this spiritual connection between you, and if so, what do they know or what do they feel? And we're also going to find out what's happening next. So what is the next significant development in this journey, and when is that going to happen? So yeah, let's get right into it. So just before we open up the envelope, I wanted to just mention a couple things that came through to me about this person. They have a very lively energy, and they have a very bright and positive energy, which was really nice to sit with. It made me feel like energized. It made me feel alive. And also about your connection, I was sort of getting the feeling that your souls had been apart for some time. And I don't just mean within this one lifetime, although you could feel like, you know, in this lifetime you've been waiting quite a bit, or maybe this is someone you're in separation with, but it was more so the feeling of like souls that were together for a long time, and then they kind of like went their separate ways and they were incarnating in different places, and then in this lifetime they decided to have a reunion, and it's kind of been a long time and it's super exciting. That was something that came through and that I made a note of. So with that, let's open up this envelope and see. I'm just noticing like the green eyes of the cat, which I didn't notice before, but green eyes might be significant. Okay, so group number 4, your letter says, dearest blank, and that is of course where your name goes. Woo! I just want to say I'm so happy we found each other again. Nothing brings me joy quite like being with you. It seems no matter what happens, my soul will always float back to you, and I am so unbelievably grateful for that. The sky's the limit for us. I really feel that. The world is ours. We will create the most beautiful life together. The past won't hold us back anymore. Thank you. Thank you for choosing me. Thank you for breathing new life into me. Thank you for healing me. You have my whole heart forever. This next part of our journey is important. Hold your vision and don't give up. Perceived blockages will bring surprising blessings. I wish I could say more, but there's no space left. All my love, and then there's their name. So I definitely feel like this is a letter from their higher self. Like this is their soul speaking to you. Even if you do know this person in the 3D, I feel like this is a soul talking. This is a higher self talking. And I totally got the vibe of like, you're reuniting in this lifetime. They've definitely missed you a lot. It's actually very, very sweet because it's this feeling of like, I've gone off and done my own thing. I've seen so many different worlds. I've lived in so many different bodies. And you know what? At the end of the day, I'm really happiest when I'm with you. I'm really happiest when I'm living with you and when I get to come into union with you in my life. And I'm so unbelievably happy that we get to do this again. Like their soul is so pumped, so excited that this is a lifetime where you can come back together. And I have a really big smile on my face right now as I sit with their energy. And you know, they even say like you've helped them heal, you've breathed new life into them. They're really, it's like, it feels like spring, like a spring season is coming. The world was frozen over and now the snow is melting. Spring is coming again. Like they feel like they have a new lease on life, or their soul has a new lease on life. this last part of the letter was kind of cryptic and it came through very suddenly. Like I felt like the letter was just going in one direction and then I was like, this next part of our journey is important. Like they suddenly went into like intense kind of cryptic mode. And that also made me think, okay, this is not a human. This is a soul. I mean, they are a human, of course, but like this is their soul talking. Yeah, this next part of your journey is important. Hold your vision and don't give up. This is about the soulmate journey, but it's also about what you're dealing with in your life right now. Don't give up. This is not the time to quit things. That was an important message for you guys. This is not the time to quit things, especially for those of you who are really trying to pursue something that's important to you or that you've invested a lot of time and energy into, but things are rough and you're starting to lose steam and you're starting to lose hope. They're saying hold on and don't give up. And even if it's something that you actually kind of want to quit, this could even be like just hang in there for a little bit longer. Whatever you're doing right now, hang in there. And this message of perceived blockages will bring surprising blessings. What came through with this sentence is that, you know, sometimes on these types of journeys, we can get concerned with which of my actions are bringing me closer to union and which of my actions might be bringing me farther away. And we could sometimes second guess what we're doing. Like, is this blocking union? Is this blocking my manifestations? And this was kind of suggesting things that you might have in your head, like these are blocking my manifestations, or things you might have in your head, this is not what's supposed to be happening, this isn't bringing me closer to my soulmate, might turn out to be the very things that bring you to them. So an example that came to my mind was like, let's say you're in school and you have like a career path in mind, but it's just been really hard recently. The workload has been a lot. The assignments, the exams are really difficult. They're putting pressure on you. And so you start to feel that temptation to give up. And maybe you're so busy with school that you don't have time to go out and meet people. And so you have it in your head, like, not only am I struggling here, but I don't have time to get out. And so I'm not creating space for my soulmate to come in. You're telling yourself this story that like what I'm doing is not conducive to my soulmate journey. It's not helping. But then let's say maybe you really bomb an exam or you bomb an assignment and you have to redo it. And that really is just like the straw that breaks the camel's back. And you're like, I have no idea what I'm doing here. Like, I should just give up. I should just quit. And one day, you're staying at school late and you're in the library. It's like late at night. You're trying to stay awake. I don't know why this is so detailed. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to go get some coffee. And then you go to the convenience store and you bump into your soulmate. Or like your soulmate's the freaking cashier. Like, you could never have expected or predicted that. And that's just it, right? At the end of the day, life is unpredictable and there's a million little moments in life, a million opportunities to bump into your fate, and we just can't predict it. And at the end of the day, we really cannot say with certainty, this action is going to bring me to my soulmate, this action is going to bring me far away. In fact, okay, siren, it can be the very opposite of what we are thinking. And I feel like your soulmate is kind of hinting, like, don't be so quick to determine what is bad or what you shouldn't be doing or what is blocking you. You see? Because the very thing that you feel like your brain decided you shouldn't be doing could be the very thing that brings you to them. And they're saying this next part of your journey is important because you might feel tempted to change things. You might feel tempted to give up, but like keep holding on and keep doing what you're doing. And also, I just thought like this final part of the letter, I wish I could say more, but there's no space left. They were being like cheeky. I feel like they were trying to make a joke with that. Like, oh, sorry, look at the time. They just kind of dropped this bomb and then we're like, okay, see you later. Okay, so Now let's get into the tarot cards. And actually, I'm gonna turn on the air conditioning. It's such a weird time of year because like it's almost summer, but then sometimes the days are really cold, and then I should just honestly have it on all the time because even when it's cold, reading makes me quite warm. But anyway, enough about that. So we are going to pull one card to represent your energy, and we have the Emperor. I feel like there's a lot of repeating cards throughout the groups, which, I mean, I guess that's not that strange, but I thought there'd be a little bit more variety. A card to represent your soulmate. We have Strength. This is also the third time that Strength has come out. And I think it was group 1 that got both of these. And then a card to represent your union. We have Judgment. Okay, there's a new one. All right, so in terms of zodiac energy, we have Aries here with the Emperor. We have Pluto, so this would make me think of Scorpio on the Judgment card. And then we have Leo with Strength. And I've also been looking at the numbers and seeing how they could indicate dates. So we have April 20th, April 11th, and we also have November 20th and November 4th. So those could be like birthdays, anniversaries, important dates coming up. But let's take a look at this energy. I want to start off with Judgment in the middle. I think that once you two come together, it's going to unlock a new cycle. Unlock a new cycle in your soul journey. And it's interesting too, like in this person's letter, they said, the sky is the limit for us. The world is ours. We will create the most beautiful life together. The past won't hold us back anymore. And Judgment is very much about letting go of the past. I'm wondering if you guys have maybe had like rough past lives. Some of you guys maybe like were already involved with this person in your current lifetime and you're in separation right now as well. Because I could see this as something that happened within the course of one incarnation as well as over the course of several lifetimes. But I feel like you guys were together very, very closely, and you were like fire and fire coming together. Like Emperor and Strength are both fire. You guys could be of zodiac signs of the same element, by the way, even if it's not literally Aries and Leo. Like you could be like a Cancer and Pisces, both water signs, or like a Virgo and Capricorn, both earth signs. But it was like you were fire and fire, you were passion and passion, and it's like you were still rough around the edges, and you came together and you got burned and you got hurt. And it was like out of love for each other and to protect your connection, your souls decided that it was best to like go your separate ways for the time being and just learn some lessons on your own. You guys are infinite souls, and the Strength card for me indicates souls who have been best friends since day one. And so it's natural that you're not going to be together forever. You're going to have like a cycle of a lot of incarnations where you're together, and then you might decide to go off and learn some lessons on your own. Because in the span of your soul, of your infinite soul, millions and millions of lessons to learn. Some lessons are best to learn in separation, and some lessons are best to learn together. And so I think your souls came to a point where they were like, okay, for the next round of lessons that we're learning, maybe it's best to be separate, because maybe if we learn these lessons together, we will hurt each other unnecessarily. And so I feel a period of separation with your souls, whether that was in this lifetime or like in your incarnations. But this is the start of a new cycle where you're putting the past behind you and you're entering into a reunion. So after this life, you will also have many, many, many lifetimes coming up together. And what's really interesting too is that these two beings on the cards are looking away from each other. And this is something that would also quite clearly indicate to me a separation. And I want to point out that the Emperor on this card is a lion. And then there's also a lion on this Strength card. And the person is like cradling the lion. So I feel like this is indicating like forgiveness. There was a need to forgive each other. There was a need to be gentle with each other. And maybe there was a point in your journey where you felt like angry towards each other. You felt bitterness, or like you were blaming each other for what happened. And this is like you seeing each other in a pure light again, in an innocent light again, and feeling genuine compassion, and not taking it personally like you were hurting me, but seeing it from a distance, like you were hurting. You were hurting, you had pain in your soul, you needed to heal. And this letter is saying like, thank you for letting me heal, and thank you for this new chance, because I realize that my greatest joy is being with you. It's like you've come apart, you've healed, you've forgiven yourselves, you've forgiven each other, you're ready for a reunion. This is the very clear message that is coming through. And Pluto, this is like, I'm almost getting death energy, like death card energy, a completely new dynamic. So things that stood in your way in the past will not come back to haunt you. This is a complete release of the past. It's like a complete clearing of karma. You're starting together with this person with a clean slate, with nothing remaining but the pure unconditional love that you have for each other, and you're writing your new story together. The Emperor is about being empowered. It's about taking charge of your life. I feel like you guys are writing your own story now, and you're creating your own fate together. Also, April of 2011 might have been significant, like 4/2011. Yeah, this is like very, very strong reunion vibes. And this is like, all of the readings today are showing the soulmate coming towards you based on like the direction that the middle card is moving towards. We see this person who's moving from this side over to that side. And this is very strange, because I feel like this is the first time that's happened in a soulmate reading, like where every single group is like, they're coming towards you. At least for like the next step of this journey, I feel like they will be the one to initiate. They will be the one to make a move. And it's really interesting. Like in the idea of the Strength card, I feel like the woman and the lion are the same being. They're the same soul. So this could also be an indication of like seeing yourself in your soulmate, and seeing your soulmate in yourself. Like you guys holding up a mirror to each other and realizing that you're a part of each other. And you couldn't hurt the other without hurting yourself. You couldn't hurt yourself without hurting the other. You can't forgive the other without forgiving yourself. You're like intrinsically linked like this. And when you understand that, it's like, to love you is to love me. To love me is to love you. I can't be away from you. And I can't be bitter towards you. I can't do that. The more I love myself, the more I love you. The more I forgive myself, the more I forgive you. And I think you've realized in this period, like, we're always going to come back to each other. We're always going to be within each other. Ooh, oh, that's so beautiful. But yes, judgment is a brand new cycle. And forgiveness is a big theme too, with strength, with judgment. Forgiveness, reunion, a clean slate, a new start. And in this new start, we're empowered. And lions, they also make me think of creativity, that Leo energy. Like, I'm so excited for this fresh start. I'm so excited for us to create the reality we always wanted together. Now that we're healed, now that we've forgiven ourselves, like, nothing can stop us. It's like you've released your demons. You've cleared your karma. Cats could be significant for you guys too, because we have a cat here, a cat here, a cat here. Especially black cats. They could be like an auspicious symbol for you. But let's get into the next tarot deck. So we're gonna use the Intuit Tarot now. And as you guys might know, I usually don't, well, hardly ever read reversals in my readings, but today I am going to, because this is a super cool deck that has like the written interpretations of both the upright and reverse position, and it also has the astrological associations, which I really, really appreciate. This is a really awesome deck. So like I mentioned, this part of the reading is pretty open, but we're going to get any information that you may want or need regarding this person, regarding your relationship, the journey towards each other, whatever. And I feel like it's their higher self that's going to be coming through mostly during this reading. Whatever their higher self would like you to know. What does group number 4 need to know? Ooh! Oh my gosh. It just like barely fell off the edge of the table. When it stopped, it was like, I'm gonna use this for a visual. It stopped like this and it was like dangling off the edge and it didn't fall off. Whew. This is a reunion for sure. And even the fact that like, you know, because sometimes the letters are just like, my love, or like, dear soulmate, or something. But this is like first name basis. So some of you might already know this person in this lifetime. Like, oh, you already know who I am. It was that kind of feeling. Although that could just be because your souls are very familiar with each other. Oh wait, I forgot to put out the freaking card that that did that dramatic thing. So we have the Magician, resourceful creator, willpower, influence, master manifester. So you are manifesting each other, inspired action, concentration, resourcefulness, and intellect. And it is of course in the upright position, which is very significant for this reading because we are reading reversals. We have Mercury energy here as well as Gemini energy, or Mercury in Gemini energy. I'm feeling very clumsy during this reading, which could just be my energy, or it could be your soulmate's energy, but I just wanted to mention that. But yeah, this is like a clear sign that you're manifesting each other. Also, I do believe that no matter how close or far away from this person you might be, you do have the ability to communicate telepathically. Even if you were literally not incarnated together and you were like in different dimensions, you would still always have this gift and you would always have this ability to talk to each other. Because again, it's this feeling of like you can't be separated. You can't really be taken away from each other. Also, Magician makes me think you're ready. You're ready and you have what it takes. Obviously the number 1 makes me think a new beginning is coming. But like you're ready for this. You know, we're always going to have more lessons to learn. We're always going to have more healing to do. But for the time being, I really feel like you guys have mastered what you were meant to master. You've learned what you were meant to learn so that you will not make the same mistakes that your soul has in the past, and that this is really a fresh start for you. And I also really want to point out inspired action. There may be action that is required from you in this journey to union, but it will never be something that is forced or even that is like that has to be intentional. It will always be something that comes naturally to you. And honestly, I see this very, very often in soulmate readings. I think more often than not, it's just like programmed into us that if there's an action that's necessary for us to come into union, we will do it. Like without trying, without thinking about it, even like they said in their letter, even when our brain is telling us this is not the right thing to be doing to bring them in, more often than not, it is. And so we just have to go with what feels natural to us. We just have to go with our gut. And I've seen this so many times that like 9 times out of 10, we're doing the right thing without even trying, without even thinking. We are right on schedule. We are right on the path to get us to the union that we so desperately want. And the magician is very confident in himself. So he's not going to second guess his journey. He's not going to second guess his actions. Like, he knows if I'm doing something, it's because I'm supposed to be doing it. And if I'm not doing it, it's because I'm not supposed to. If there's ever an action that is required from you, you will feel very inspired about it. You will feel very excited about it. Okay, we also have Temperance in reverse. Lack of perspective. 1s and 4s are important for you guys, which means it indicates to me that you have a lot of angelic support. We have 11 here, we have 4, and then we have 1, and then we have 14. So 1s and 4s are repeating quite a bit. We also have Jupiter and Sagittarius energy, Jupiter in Sagittarius, which if you're born in like 1995, yeah, I'm born in 1995 and I have Jupiter in Sagittarius. So if you're like mid to late 20s or 27, then you might have this. Okay. Excess, impatient, discord, imbalance, antagonism, and self-indulgence. So I feel like it's probably the amount of time that this has taken, or the amount of time that it is taking, that is making you question your magicianness, because what I'm seeing is someone who is doing everything right and who has done all the right things on this journey, who's very much on the right path, who is very ready for their blessings and has what it takes to navigate this journey towards them, but is doubting themselves. And I think it's because of time. And I think it's because of like impatience. Trust the process. And I know that that is such cheesy advice, but trust the process and trust the amount of time that it's taking. Everything is taking exactly as much time as it needs, because humans, souls maybe not so much, but humans are affected by time. And it takes a certain amount of time for changes to be made. It takes a certain amount of time for lessons to sink in for us. Humans, I feel like, are very much ruled by time. Some things take more time than others, and some people take more time than others. And that is perfectly fine. We cannot rush healing. We cannot rush learning a lesson. We cannot rush mastering a skill. And I feel like this is, and you guys coming through as the Emperor, which is Aries energy. We're like the queens of impatience. And I can say that because I'm an Aries. And Mercury too, Mercury being the fastest planet, is like, there's, some of you guys are like trying to rush this process. And that's why you're questioning yourself, because you're like, oh, if it hasn't happened yet, there must be something wrong. If it hasn't happened by now, there must be something wrong. But this is just your brain's own judgment. Your brain has this expectation of how long certain things should take. And just because the real situation is not meeting that expectation, it's like your brain, and I say your brain because you might know better, but your ego, your brain just does this to you. It starts to make up all these stories of, what if I did something wrong? What if I took a wrong turn? I do this all the time when I'm like using Google Maps and I'm like walking. I'm like, oh, I haven't seen that street yet. Like, did I pass it? Am I going the wrong way? And literally, if I just keep walking for like a minute, I will see that street. But it's because I get impatient and I get restless that I'm like, oh, I must be on the wrong road. And it's like, no, just like relax. Just keep walking. That street's coming. You're not lost. I genuinely do that a lot. That's the Aries in me. So, you know, there might be some points along this journey where you guys do that as well. And you're like, why hasn't this happened yet? Also with excess and self-indulgence, there may be like habits that you partake in, or things that you partake in almost to like ease the pain of having to wait. Just a hypothetical example would be like, let's say someone's waiting for to meet their partner, and like they're really lonely, so they would maybe like go out and party, or they would like go and mingle with people that like deep down they know is not good for them, but like at least it will make them feel nice for this period of time. This could also be your soulmate's energy, but one or both of you maybe has like engaged in these kind of behaviors before. Like I'm sad that my soulmate isn't here yet and I need like a distraction. And again, it stems from like impatience, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I think that there's just a reassurance here of like, all this is time. All this is a matter of time. And then finally, we have the Seven of Cups, and this is also in reverse, which I feel like it's actually a nice card to be in reverse. We also have Venus in Scorpio energy here. Focus, action, claircognizant, seeing a clear choice, concrete, and decisive. When your union is drawing near, I feel like your claircognizant abilities might really sharpen, and you will have this sense of mental clarity. The Seven of Cups in the upright position, it can sometimes indicate things are kind of vague, things are kind of murky. So when your union is more far away, it would be like, I'm having dreams about my soulmate, but I didn't see their face. Or like you wake up and you think, I know I had a dream about them, but I can't remember it now. Or you feel something or you see something and you know it's a sign, but you just can't figure out what it means. And when your union is drawing near, these downloads that you're receiving and these communications that you're receiving are going to start to become clearer and clearer and clearer. It's like as if you are driving in a car and like your car is getting closer and closer to the tower, and so the radio station is becoming clearer and clearer. Like at first there was a lot of static and it was choppy, but then as you get closer to the tower and your signal gets better, the messages become clearer and clearer. So it's like, oh, I had a really vivid dream about my soulmate and they said this phrase to me, or they looked like this, or I saw the place that we were in, or my soulmate communicated this message to me very clearly through our telepathic connection. I know exactly what they're trying to say to me. I can feel their energy. I can smell them. I know that sounds weird, but it's happened to me before, like smelling someone before I met them, and it was very spooky. But like those little downloads, those little, what would you call them, sixth senses will get clearer and clearer and clearer. Whereas before you might have been dealing with more vague things like, I don't know what you're trying to tell me. What does this mean? Or like I was just rewatching the first season of Stranger Things because I want to watch the new season, but like I need to refresh my memory. And it's like, you know, at first, for those of you who don't know the story, basically this boy gets trapped in another dimension and he's trying to reach out to his mom from the other dimension. And at first, like, he can't really communicate with her. He tries to call her, but it's just like breathing and weird, like static noise. But then he and his mom find a way to communicate more clearly. And he can actually like spell things out for her and like tell her yes or no. So they like figure it out. And I feel like that's kind of what your souls are doing. The signal is getting stronger. So you will have more vivid dreams. The signs will be more unmistakable and you'll actually get specific messages, like specific phrases or very clear images. So if that's something that's happening to you, there's a sign that your union is near. Oh, also at the bottom of the deck, I want to show we have the Hierophant in reverse with non-conforming, unconventional life choices, alternative lifestyles, freedom, challenge the status quo, and think for yourself. This is likely traits that both you and your soulmate have, but I also felt called to put this down because I thought that maybe your journey has been a little bit unconventional. I know especially if you're experiencing a telepathic or psychic connection, that would definitely be seen as unconventional and weird by many people. But please don't let these things discredit your journey. And please don't let them, like, it doesn't make your journey any less legitimate or any less real just because it's not other people's story. But yeah, I'm gonna leave this here. I feel like that's important for you guys. I also want to point out that 3 out of 4 of these cards are major arcana. This is like an all major arcana deck, so you know, obviously it's gonna be like that, but this is not. This is all 78 cards, and 3 out of 4 are major arcana, which probably this went without saying, but this is big soulmate energy. This is a very, very significant soulmate, like the soulmate. Okay, so let's take a look at some oracle cards now to finish off this reading with any other messages or advice you may need. Ooh, so we have astrology with the number 17, which is reminding me of the star card in tarot, which is funny because like astrology is about studying the stars. Yeah, there might be something about your astrology that makes you compatible with this person. Like we saw before, you know, this represents Aries and this represents Leo, which are said to be 2 very compatible signs. Even if you and your soulmate aren't those signs, you could be of zodiac signs that are compatible. But with this star energy, it makes sense because I feel like you guys have had a lot of incarnations in places other than Earth. You may resonate with being a star seed, and maybe like you and this person have some shared placement that is like an indication of being a star seed. Or you have like a really rare like shared placement or aspect that's really, really significant. Yeah, and I'm not surprised to see this either. Psychic connection. There is a strong psychic connection between you and this person. He or she or they think exactly the same as you. Your intuition is telling you the right thing about this situation and this person. Very, very important. And that's only going to get stronger from here. The thing is like, I feel that many of you could be doubting yourself about this connection. And it's not that the messages you're getting are inaccurate. It's just that they've been weak. Like they've been weak or they've been vague. So you're not moving from a wrong interpretation to a correct interpretation, but rather the vague ideas that you had that you were receiving from your intuition and you kind of had to fill in the blanks with your mind. Now it's like you get the full picture from your intuition and you're like, oh, so that's what you were trying to tell me with that sign. Like you were always getting the right information, but like the bits and pieces that were missing because of like choppy reception and then your mind had to guess. It's like now you get the full, clear, pure message, if that makes sense. We also have accept and love yourself. My dear child, now is the time to accept and love your body as it is. The female body, or we can just say the body, is a beautiful work of art, and we are blessed to come in different forms and sizes. Eating well and working out are great things, but only if the underneath motives are right. It's interesting that we have this card that talks about loving yourself and especially having a positive body image. And actually with temperance in reverse, this could be something that you or your soulmate or both of you have kind of struggled with, because the temperance in the upright makes me think of someone who's like physically healthy, mentally healthy, they're in a really good place. One or both of you has maybe dealt with like body image issues or some like disordered eating habits or something like that. But it's important to remember that you're perfect just the way you are. And I want to be very clear that I'm not saying this like, oh, you should love yourself because your soulmate thinks that you're beautiful. It's not like that. Obviously, these things go way deeper than just how somebody else sees you. It's a very personal issue, the way you see yourself and the way you accept yourself. But on that same note, I do want to just share that reassurance that like, if it ever did cross your mind, like, oh, what if this person doesn't think I'm attractive? Or like, I can't come into union because I don't look like blah, blah, blah yet. That's not an issue. It's the opposite of an issue. You're perfect. You're absolutely perfect. just for anyone who needed to hear that. And again, I very much respect that, like, coming to love yourself is a very individual journey, and it has nothing to do with what people on the outside think. Like, everybody in the world could think you're the most gorgeous person in the world, but if you don't believe it, like, it doesn't mean anything. But I just wanted to give that little reassurance in case that's like a worry that has crossed your mind before. That's not how they see you at all. And you will never have to change something about your appearance or change something about your body to be lovable. Never. Because the true people who are meant to be in your life and the true people who will love you, they'll love you no matter what you look like. And if anyone tried to make you feel like you need to change something about your body, or you don't look this enough, or you don't look that enough, like, run away from them. That's not the type of person you want in your life, because that is conditional love. Like, they will show you love as long as you look this one way. And like, what happens when you get old, or what happens when your body starts changing? What then? Like, run away from people who like base their love for you off of that kind of stuff. No. We're not here for that. Okay. And finally, our last card, I should say, is creative joy. The process is never wasted. That's very, very important for you guys to know with this temperance in reverse, with this encouragement to be patient. Everything is happening exactly as it should, and the universe does not waste. The universe does not waste time or energy. And you're always doing exactly what you need to be doing. It delivers transformation. And again, we cannot rush transformation. And also, as humans, we cannot assign deadlines for transformation, for healing, for mastery, for achievements, just because we have our own personal schedule. Like, universe, I would like this transformation to occur within 3 weeks' time. The universe is like, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, or, you know, like, if you put cookies in the oven that take 10 minutes to bake, and you're like, I would like this to be done in 1 minute, so I'm gonna turn up the oven really, really high, and then the next thing you know, you have burnt, brittle cookies. Like, everything has its process. Everything has its process, and the universe does not waste time. And this is super important for you guys to remember on this journey. Ask, how can I be more joyful in this experience that I have chosen? This was something that I was just talking about with my best friend the other day. Like, I feel like the more we're anxious for the future, oh wait, no, it's opposite. The more dissatisfied we are in our present situation, the more restless or antsy we are for the future, because we're putting our happiness in the future. So we're like, we're not happy with the way things are right now, and we're like, I just want to get to the future where I'm with my soulmate, or I just want to get to the future where this has happened, because that's when I'm going to be happy, and I just want it to come quickly, because you want to feel that happiness. But by thinking like that, you're taking away the possibility that you could find joy right here, right now. And I have experienced this personally, that when I start to find my life more interesting, and when I start to create joy in my little day-to-day life, it's not that I stop caring about my desired future, but I stop being so desperate or obsessive about when it's going to happen. I'm like, I don't mind waiting here. This is awesome. Like, imagine you're in the most beautiful, cushy waiting room that has snacks, and it has all your favorite shows, or it has like a beautiful garden. Like, I don't mind waiting here. Shit. Like, let me get some snacks. This is your present moment. Actually, your present moment is not a waiting room. That's a stupid analogy. But I hope you understand what I mean. By creating more joy, more comfort, more pleasure in your present moment, you start to live here. It starts to become comfortable, so you want to live here. You don't want to rush to the future, because you're just robbing moments from yourself. I'll enjoy the future when it's the future, and I'll enjoy now when it's now. And in that way, I can enjoy more moments, rather than trying to rush to the end part. So again, it feels kind of cheesy, but that's your advice. Enjoy the process, enjoy the journey. How can you be more joyful right now? Yes? So, with that group number 4, these are all the messages I have for you. So just to recap, in the extended part of this reading, we are going to be finding out whether your soulmate feels this connection or knows about the connection between the two of you, and if so, what do they know and what do they feel? And we're also going to find out what is the next development in this journey, what's happening next and when. So if that is something that interests you and you would like to watch the extended reading, there will be a link in the description as well as in the pinned comment. But if not, I'm going to end your reading here and say thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And you can also follow my Instagram, where I regularly post pick a card readings, and my music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song, so if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, the music channel will be linked down below for you as well. Group number 4, I'm sending so much love to you, to your soulmate, and to your spiritual teams. Thank you very much for being here. I truly appreciate your support, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!